deep into the fourth quarter.
All right, both teams undefeated coming in. A lot of key players littered across the field tonight. What players can the fans check out tonight, Jay?
Starting for Millbrook, two of the best in the country on the defensive side, starting with Rashad Streets coming off the edge. He has the first step quickness to get after the quarterback, and Quentin Cipher coming in from his linebacker position is so physical. He has sideline to sideline speed, and this tandem has created issues for every offense they've played throughout the season. They have offers from everybody, and watch them starring on the defensive side for the Wildcats. And over for Huff, they've got an extremely talented quarterback in Ethan Royal that's a dual threat. He can throw it and run it, and he's really hurt teams with his arm strength, throwing the ball deep down the field. And on the defensive side, Ryan Peterson has been really a shining star as a sophomore coming on through, and colleges are coming after him because of his production, and he's really had an impressive playoff run.
All right, let's get to our Ingles food for thought keys to the game. Low prices. Love the savings, Jay.
For the Wildcats, they've won all year in the trenches. That's been their focus area this week, is dominating up front, and then field position. We think this is going to be a defensive battle. They want to win with field position and create short fields for their offense. For Huff, playing the best version of themselves. Come out here, this is the final ball game of the year. They want to play their best into their potential, and then the turnover margin is an area they've won throughout the season. They want to continue that tonight.
All right, as we mentioned at the top, neither of these teams has played for a state championship. Long history in the case of the Millbrook Wildcats. Third member of our broadcast crew, Madison Little, down to the field with that. It's been 103 years since Millbrook opened up its school doors, Madison.
Well, thanks, guys. Despite consistently having a lot of great players and historically being two very good football teams, it is each of these programs' first trip to the state championship. Millbrook, they've been building up to this moment in each of their last seasons. Last year, they were 11-2 and 9-3 the year before. Coach Lamar Marshall, confident in his team. He says processes lead to great results. This Huff team, well, they feel like getting here lifted a weight off their shoulders, and now they're determined to finish the job. Earlier this week, they were confident they knew which of these teams would come out on top, and Coach Baker says he likes the confidence of his team. He likes that mentality, the idea that they should go in and win every single game they play. The NCHSAA 8A state championship game kicks off when we come back right after this.
Storms can come up fast, and your roof is your home's first line of defense. Tip Top Roofing is fully licensed, insured, and trusted by homeowners, HOAs, and real estate professionals. From the smallest repairs to the largest residential replacements, we handle it all, including gutters and siding. As a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master, we offer up to 25 years of workmanship coverage and a lifetime materials warranty. Ask about our senior and veteran discounts and schedule your free inspection today at tiptoproofing.net.
I am so
Why can no one help me?
Waiting
This is a
work.
nightmare.
I think it's healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No, but it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
For the first time, it is the 8A NCHSAA State Championship, which means the biggest schools across the state vying through the bracket. And the Millbrook Wildcats and Huff Huskies, the two last squads standing. Huff, the #1 seed out of the West. They are undefeated at 13-0 out of the Greater Charlotte Conference in Cornelius, North Carolina. Millbrook, meanwhile, from Raleigh, also undefeated, 13-0. Out of the cap, they went 7-0 in conference play. And Jay, the fans are here, the alums are here, the history is here for Huff and Millbrook.
This is the main event, and both teams had a bye week last week, so their regional final was 2 weeks ago, and they've been waiting for this moment. Really good crowds. We were down on the field, Patrick, before the ball game, and you could feel the energy and just the excitement in both these teams. Have been undefeated all year, and they want to close it out the right way. And it was really good talking with each coaching staff and just kind of feeling, you know, their last thoughts before this ball game.
And now both of these teams put up some really impressive offensive numbers over the year, but make no mistake, the calling card for Huff and Millbrook has been their defense. Combined, these teams have had 10 shutouts this year, including Huff. They shut out West Charlotte in the regional final a couple of weeks ago in a demonstrative 24-0 win.
And that was a big win against West Charlotte, who many thought would be able to challenge them, and they were not able to keep it close. Huff just ran away with that ball game, and Millbrook in their regional final went down to Wilmington and played against a Hoggard team that's a perennial power in the East. They were in the state championship a couple years ago, and they won that ball game 14-7 and really stretched that ball game out there in the second half with their offense taking over and winning along the line of scrimmage.
And that was a game where Millbrook's defense, again, that's been kind of their battle-tested unit this year, gave up an 80-yard touchdown drive in the first possession of the game to Hoggard. They pitched a shutout the remaining 40 or so minutes of that contest, and 2 third-quarter touchdowns put them over the top for a big road win over the #1 seed.
And both of these teams had expectations to get to this point. A lot of teams have goals to get here, but these two teams expected to get here. This was their goal, but they're not done yet. They've got to finish it off tonight to reach that ultimate goal that they really set out for. And you know, I think we're going to have a great ball game, and these two teams really, Patrick, they were destined to be here. I mean, these are the two best, and they steamrolled through their schedule, and I think we're going to see really good competition.
I mean, this will be the historical moment for one of these programs. It's already history, the fact that Huff and Millbrook are here. But moving forward, this is a legacy moment for the team that wins the title tonight. We've had a number of NFL players come out of the Huff program. So many NFL players have come out of the Millbrook program. Many of these alums with such deep roots to the athletic program in Millbrook are here tonight to witness what will be a first of its kind for one of these squads.
There's a lot of support, and the players feel that down in the field while they're getting ready here to come out for the opening kickoff. They feel that energy, and those former players and all the fans here to support them. And you talk about the talent here. There are numerous college prospects all throughout the freshman and senior classes on each team, and I really believe we have 4 to 5, maybe more NFL players in a couple of years. This is the top talent here in the state, and it's going to be fun to watch these guys go at it.
It has been their destiny, and destiny has arrived. And it'll be Jonah Holloway for a Huff in the dark uniforms, kicking off to Millbrook. Jay, for the last moment, what's going through their minds? It's time for kickoff for a title.
They're ready to win the state championship and get that first hit in. A lot of butterflies out on the field, but they're ready to go, well prepared.
Right, here we go. Original Grills kickoff. Elevate your grill game at Original Grills. The School of Huff opened its doors in 2010. Millbrook back in 1922. They both play for their first ever high school state football title, and a big return by the Wildcats. Tate and Martin weaving across the 40-yard line. No nerves on that return by Martin. An excellent field position for the Wildcats.
Martin, a senior wide receiver, has been great on special teams throughout the season, and that's one of Lamar Marshall's keys, is winning the field position, and that's a good start there, that kickoff return.
And that is not a good sign. That is Charles Puckett, who is one of their top linebackers for the Huff Huskies, injured perhaps on special teams right there in the very first play, and it's an emotional moment 10 seconds into this one. Oh, goodness. You're waiting your lifetime for this moment. And on the first play, the opening kickoff, Charles Puckett will watch him wearing number 13. Here he comes right there. There's the hit. And to the sideline he goes. And They will check on him to make sure he is viable to return. That is a potential key loss for Huff.
But as a young sophomore, he's provided so much production throughout this season.
All right, so here we go. The Millbrook Wildcats led by junior quarterback Bryson Gray. He's 18-1 over his career as a starter. He's the number 2 passer in 8A across the state. He's thrown for over 2,400 yards. And on the ground on first down for the Wildcats. A carry for a couple of yards from Bryson McCullers as we take a look at the starting lineups. Brought to you by Affordable Dentures and Implants. Use your 2025 dental benefits now to get the smile you deserve. Visit AffordableDentures.com for the practice near you.
With McCullers, Martin, Thomas, Gilchrist, and Braun are very athletic skill group. Avery, James, Chitty, Ramsey, and Daniels up front. The key tonight is, can the offensive line for Millbrook get movement against this talented group up front for the Huskies?
McCullers on that game-opening carry for a yard. And a touchdown run, a couple of them last week in that road win over Hoggard. 2nd and 9. Gray throws it into the flats and quickly wrapped up by the defense. No gain there. It'll be 3rd down and long as Malachi Gilchrist makes the reception as we take a look at the Affordable Dentures and Implants defense for the Huskies.
Chachi Sullivan, the defensive coordinator, has a great group. Berlin Brewster, Hilliard, Porter, Peterson, Puckett, Heath, and Matthews. And that back end with Murphy, Wilkerson, and Holloway have been fantastic throughout the season, just shutting down their opponents.
Expect a defensive tussle tonight for the state title. 3rd and 9 for the Wildcats. Looking to throw, Gray stepping up. Pocket collapses and he slides forward back to the line of scrimmage. And the Husky defense, which has pitched 5 shutouts this year, including a regional final 24-0 blanket over West Charlotte, forces a 3 and outs.
And there wasn't a blitz here from Huff. They just rushed with their front 4. The pocket collapsed and there was nowhere to go. And this defense doing a really good job getting that penetration up front.
Ethan Lebrecki, number 88, will punt it away for Millbrook. So the Wildcats got the large kickoff return to the 40-yard line. They advance it only 1 yard on 3 plays. And Lebrecki boots it away. It's a spinner hanging high toward the far sideline and checks up at the 34-yard line. So we're underway. The wait is over. Millbrook and Huff for the 8A state championship. Huff on offense for the first time when we come back to Chapel Hill.
At Wells Fargo, we believe that doing can make a difference. That's why we've donated over $2 billion to strengthen local communities over the last 5 years. From over $745 million to help address housing access and affordability, to roughly $420 million to help small business owners through nonprofits, to over $55 million to support scholarships and programming for students. Because doing gets it done.
North Carolina High School Athletic Association State Championships, broadcast presented by Affordable Dentures and Implants. It's the 8A championship game. Huff forces the quick punts, and there is Ethan Royal, the junior quarterback for the Huskies. First year as a starter. He's a tremendous athlete. Watch him through the air, quick release, very accurate and very slippery with his legs. Drive for the Huskies. The first down to state title game begins at their own 34-yard line. And Royal will put it on the ground, and this is their top back, Jamarian Morrison, around the right side for about 6.
And Morrison's really come on strong here as a sophomore, and with him in the backfield as well as his skill players, Patrick, this is a group that's put up a lot of points this season.
Affordable Dentures and Implants starting lineups.
You got White, Evans, Anderson, and Carter on the outside, and then up front, this is a group Deshaun Baker loves how athletic they are, how big they are, but the main thing is how tough they have shown to be throughout the year.
Hard run between the tackles. Morris again for a couple of yards. Use your 2025 dental benefits now to get the smile you deserve. Visit affordabledentures.com for the practice near you. And here are the Affordable Dentures and Implants defensive starters for Millbrook.
Wilbert's a disruptor up front with St. Clair, Streets, Sizer, Cypher, and Adams, along with Wilson, athletic linebackers. In the deep end, they got to make sure they keep everything in front tonight. All the wide receivers cannot get past that group.
They swing it across the flats, and that will be enough for a first down out to midfield. That's their top target, Jaden White, who led the Huskies with 40 receptions, 11 of which went for scores this year. He'll move the chains for the first time.
He can take it the distance, but there just throws it to him out in the flat. Gets enough to move the chains, and he's a very physical wide receiver.
Tip Top Roofing first down. Tip Top Roofing, faith, family, football, roofing. At midfield, Huskies football, first offensive possession of the game. Unbalanced set, three receivers to the short side of the field. And Royal on the ground, hard, heavy run. Morrison drives ahead for about 6. He will be a tough candidate to bring down, averaging almost 8 yards a carry this year.
And if Huff can establish Morrison on the ground, and this is right in between the tackles, right up the middle, and he just pushes the pile, nice double team block up front. But if they can establish the running game, it's going to open up the play action pass, and Millbrook has shown they can stop the run against anybody, but a good start here on the ground for Morrison.
That sophomore just went right at Marquez Wilbur, number 33 for Millbrook, who's a D1 recruit. Second down and about 4. Room on the left side, sliding just below what was going to be a pretty big hit. It's good recognition and feel by Ethan Royal. That'll be another first down for Huff.
And this is the difference with Royal, what he can do with his legs. Zone read, and he attacks this edge and gets to the outside of Streets and then ducks down as Cairo Williams is looking to make a big hit.
Yeah, you don't want to run into Cairo Williams.
No.
Avoid him at all costs. First down Huskies at the Millbrook 38-yard line. 3 receiver formation this time, slot to the right. There's a look at Ethan Royal, the junior quarterback. And a heavy dose on the ground to the short side of the field. Morrison can't quite escape an ankle tackle, but still very good yardage on first down.
Owen Bishop pulling on that play in front of Morrison, clearing the path. Deshaun Baker has done a fantastic job with his play calling throughout the year. The head coach calling the offense, and he's been able to keep defenses off balance.
Jade White stacked up as the second receiver at the top of your screen. 7 yards on that first down carry for Morrison. See what the Wildcats defense do. They will swing it out, and this is Jaden White. Gets a little block and gets stuck at the 28-yard line. Massive hit. Stopped him in his tracks, but he held on to the football and collects the first down. That was a titanic collision, but holding on is Jaden White.
Tyron Evans out wide, having a key block there. He holds up his man, but then the defense just flies over Cairo Williams with the first hit, and he's an enforcer on the back end.
What did we say? Avoid number 11's hit at all costs. That's why.
Division I recruit, only a junior, and he's the guy that kind of cleans up things. He's the eraser in the secondary.
First down again, a little confusion here for the Huff offense. Down at the 27-yard line. Play clock down to 3, and they're going to have to burn a timeout. So we will take this timeout. The number 1 team out in the West, the Huff Huskies, driving on their first ever state championship possession. 5:30 to go in a scoreless first quarter.
Belief isn't just a feeling, it's a force. A force that turns underdogs into champions, struggle into strength, and concepts into companies. A Legacy and Wake Forest University are proud to partner because we share a truth that belief in people yields the highest returns. Together, we're investing in every dream, every goal, every tomorrow. This is our home. Let's believe.
Huskies marching forward. They'll burn a timeout ahead of a first down play, but Jay, so far they have been really productive on first down, setting things up, keeping things well ahead of schedule.
Well, there's Deshaun Baker giving instructions to Ethan Royal and his offense, and he's got to be pleased with the start. On the defensive side, they get the 3 and out, stop the Millbrook running game, and then now on offense here, they've been able to move the chains a couple times. They haven't attacked downfield, but they've had success on the ground with Morrison and some of the quick screens to the outside.
Aaron Morrison, number 21, has been the featured guy. He is to the left of Ethan Royal. First down out of the timeout, and it will be Morrison. A stiff arm, tries to escape, and is brought down after a couple of yard gain. Once again, Cairo Williams, I mean, he is everywhere right now for the Wildcats on defense.
Malcolm McIntyre and Williams coming up from the secondary, and that's a difficult play to make as Morrison gets to the outside. Nice key block there, and then uses a stiff arm, but the help coming over. And that's why as a defense, you're always taught to run to the ball, everybody swarm over, and that's a good tandem there making the tackle.
And for the first time, Millbrook kind of gets a little win on first down. They limit the Huskies to a couple of yards. 2nd and 8 from the 25. Royal, time to throw, swings to the sideline, has a man, but stepping on the sideline before. Well, I thought he stepped on the sideline moving forward. Wasn't ruled out of bounds. The reception to Kynus Tinnen. And there is a Wildcat down, face down in the turf here at Keenan. And another moment of alarm for the Millbrook Wildcats. Well, let's hope he is okay here. Did stay in bounds right there, but here's the hit going low, helmet into the knee. And that is Malcolm McIntyre, number 16. Leads with the helmet, right into the leg, and down he goes. And you see McIntyre moving his arm, moving his legs, good sign there. 8 games played for McIntyre over the course of this year, transferred into the program. That's why he hasn't played all 13 games this season for Millbrook, but he's been an incredible defensive talent. 5 interceptions. He's run 2 of them back for scores. A couple of sacks, a couple of fumble recoveries, critical to this Millbrook defense. The athletic training staff being very careful with McIntyre. Coaching staff gives them room. Meanwhile, all players on both sidelines are down on a knee. And Jay, I do see at the other end of the stadium where the ambulance and the gurneys and stretchers are, I do see some EMTs kind of jump into action at the other end of the field just in case they're needed here. They've turned McIntyre now onto his back. Appears alert. Asking him some questions. There's Lamar Marshall, just overseeing tough moment for all involved. And now some of the athletic trainers on standby here at Keenan are on site with that board. They're going to try and delicately move McIntyre onto that and further examine him. I do see that left leg of McIntyre bent up. The right leg still extended. I see both legs are flexed. Such a difficult moment, Jay,
That's
because
tough.
you're waiting a lifetime for this kind of moment. And the level of football is just so elite, especially at this 8A level. We've already seen a couple of major conflicts in terms of tackles and hits. And we've only played 7.5 minutes.
Everybody here praying in the stadium for Malcolm. We're watching everybody work together to help him.
Is he
here.
trying to get up?
Wow.
He's getting up on his own. He's getting up on his own. Goodness. Fans to their feet.
It's amazing.
And Malcolm McIntyre, with what I'm assuming is perhaps his mother or relative down there on the field holding his right arm, walking under his own power off of the field toward his own sideline. Does that tell you how much this game means to Malcolm McIntyre? That is not at all how I expected this to unfold. The reception from his teammates. He didn't even want to come off the field.
Oh. Thank goodness he's able to walk off. And I know everybody's kind of regrouping right now and making sure Malcolm's okay as he walks over the sideline. But these fans gave him a great ovation, just showing that will, and being able to get up.
What an emotional moment. Health and future matters more than these next 40 minutes. Hard to explain to Malcolm McIntyre. Wow. What a moment. Well, now the game will resume. First down for Huff at the 11-yard line. Somehow we get back to the field of play. Carry for a couple yards. Mentally, Jay, where are all these players after that near 10-minute delay?
It's difficult because you're down the field and everybody's very solemn, taking a minute to say prayers, and then you've got to come back out and go back to work. And for Huff here, a great opportunity inside of the 10-yard line here to try to punch in first touchdown of the game.
This is Royal on a keeper, noses his way to about the 1-yard line. Nice tight spin by Ethan Royal. Sets up now 3rd down, or will it be 1st and goal? The officials are deciding here. It is a 1st down, so 1st and goal to go now for the Huskies from the 1.
And Royal's averaging over 7 yards per carry on the season for Deshaun Baker, and he's used his zone read numerous times already here in the first quarter.
Nobody has scored more rushing touchdowns for the Huskies than number 1, and there's another one. Ethan Royal from a yard out gets Huff on the scoreboard first for the 8A title.
For Ethan Royal, a great start there on the ground, using that zone read and making good decisions of when to hand the ball off and when to pull it and take it. There's the defensive end, crashes down over on the left side. You see that edge is wide open. That's easy taking for Royal, and a smooth drive for this Huskies offense.
Pearson Sella, number 82, on for the extra point. High snap, they get it down, and Sellen gives Huff a touchdown lead. 13th touchdown run of the year for Ethan Royal. And on the first offensive touch, with a bit of a 10-minute delay with the injury to McIntyre, Huff cashes in and takes the first lead for the 8A championship.
It's so important in state championship ball games to gain momentum early on and be that first team to score. And for Huff, on the defensive side, they are solid. And then their offense gets the ball back, and that's a slow drive where they use the clock, mixed in the run and the pass. And this is a Millbrook defense that's been awesome throughout the season. And they're just able to manufacture points there using that zone read, the combination of Morrison and Royal really keeping the defense off balance.
So the Tatum and Atkinson touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown run by Royal. Tatum and Atkinson, the heavy hitters. 7-0 Huff. Original Grills kickoff. Elevate your grill game at Original Grills. 3:47 to go, opening quarter, end over end kick, returnable for Millbrook. They got a big return to open the game. They're going to get another big one here, out to about the 32-yard line. It's Malachi Thomas with a good return. Let's go downstairs. Madison Little, third member of our crew, has a couple of big updates for us. Madison.
Well, guys, I'm over on the Millbrook sideline, and multiple members of the staff are pleading with Malcolm McIntyre to head to the locker room. They had him on the cart at one point, but he got off on his own will, and now they are just willing him to go into the locker room and make sure everything's okay. But on the other side of things, Huff will be without Charles Puckett for the remainder of this game. He had a big hit earlier in that first drive. We saw him get concussion protocol tested, and he is unavailable moving forward, guys.
Jay, that is so hard for both of those players. Next man up mentality in a state championship game, but I mean, their opportunity to play in a state championship game appears to be over after only a couple of plays. First down reception for about 5, maybe 6 yards. Solid throw by Bryson Gray. And Tayden Martin, the reception for the Wildcats. And here's that last drive. The scoring drive goes 12 plays, 66 yards. And the payoff on that Royal touchdown run.
And they won up front, and they did a nice job with their offensive line getting push, and then opened up some passing opportunities. But that's how Huff wants to play. They want to keep the ball, win time of possession, keep this Millbrook defense on their heels.
Bryson Gray on second down. Inside a handoff, and again stiff resistance by the front 7 for the Huskies, and very little there for McCullers.
LJ Porter, talented player, signed with East Carolina, coming up and making the hit. And this defense has stars on all 3 levels, and they've been dominant throughout the season with those 5 shutouts, only giving up 72 points throughout the year. And it's because of the talent, but also how hard they play. And this is a scheme that Chachi Sullivan runs. There's a lot of twists, stunts, delayed blitzes. They really confuse offenses.
3rd and 2. Multiple players in motion. Resetting is Gilchrist on the right side. Now Thomas comes back in motion. Tight formation on 3rd and 2. McCullers, the setback. And He will get the call. He's in trouble. Spins around, lunges forward. He's going to be a bit short. And the defense one more time comes up big. Will Berlin, number 0 for the Husky defense, off of the end to slow him down. It'll be 4th and about a yard.
Will Berlin here for 0, beating the block and then just holding on to McCullers and forcing him to be about a yard short. Berlin going to Cornell, strong edge player of this defense, and doing the job there, shedding that blocker.
4th and 1 from your own territory, down a touchdown in the first quarter. And Millbrook at least showed that they were going to keep the offense on the field. But a timeout taken by the Huskies just in case Millbrook does gamble here. What do you think, Dave?
Well, I like the aggressive look. Lamar Marshall, he calls the plays for the Wildcats. So the head coach is also calling the plays. And I think right now, if they come back out here, you got to go on 2 and force this Huff defense to stay disciplined. See if you can pick it up with the penalty. But I think, too, this is one of those points in the ball game. If you don't get it, you're giving Huff outstanding field position. And we'll see if there's any different mindset here after the timeout, but wouldn't be surprised if they go for it.
Plus, you also need to consider, if you're Millbrook, you know how hard it is going to be to score in this Husky defense. If you go for it, don't get it, and then perhaps with a short field, they go up 10 or 14 points, that's going to make things astronomically more challenging for your offense the rest of the way. So we'll see what they decide here.
The offense staying on the field.
Gray is still out there.
So if I'm Millbrook and Bryson Gray, I'm using the hard count to try to get the defense to jump.
Kind of a jumbo package here for the Millbrook Wildcats. Again, their top back is McCullers, who missed their 3rd-round game with Jordan due to an injury. No carries last week in the first half. He gets the call on 4th and 1 and has it. A nice push by Millbrook. Marquez Wilbert, the defensive lineman, came in the backfield, number 33, with a lead block on that left.
And Jacob Bowen, number 44, laying down the hammer, too. And that's why Lamar Marshall went for it, because he's got confidence. When you put 2 defensive stars in as fullbacks, you see them road grade throughout the year in critical down distance situations. He said, hey, listen, we're going to get this. Let's go to the left side. These are big guys to create a pass.
The clock will stop here with 1:30 to go in the first quarter. Now again, Millbrook 13-0, 7-0 in conference play. Not a lot of close games they have played. I wouldn't imagine they have run that backfield kind of package more than a couple of times this year.
Well, they've used it as practice when they've been winning big, because they knew they'd be in this situation potentially. But they've done a really good job with their personnel and bringing guys on the defensive side over to offense.
First down for the Wildcats, trailing by 7. Gray expecting screen, throws it into traffic, blown up on that left side. A penalty marker comes in. Ryan Peterson, number 5 for Huff, made that hit, trying to cover McCullers on that left side. Either he got there early or was a little heavy with his hit. We'll see.
Peterson, a future major college prospect, only a sophomore. Look at these instincts. Now, he was early there, playing aggressive. That's going to go on the Huskies, but look at that physical style that he plays with and just the awareness to read the play and go after it.
All right, here is Marcus Elliott refereeing his first state championship game.
Defense, number 5. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Marcus, a football official for the last 13 years, basketball official for 17 years. He wanted me to pass along greetings to his daughter, Carson, who would have been in the game. She's in Burlington, a little case of bronchitis, so we wish her well. 17 years old, watching the game tonight instead of being here watching Dad on the field. Penalty moves it into Husky territory for the first time. 47-yard line for the Wildcats.
At the bottom of the screen, Samari Smoke Matthews is going to Texas, number 9. He has not been thrown at all. Millbrook hasn't even looked his way.
First down carry, swallowed up for a loss. There's Sincere Brewster, number 51, right in the mix.
Sincere Brewster, 250 pounds, right up the middle and unblocked. I mean, you've got to put a body on him. That's just too easy for this defense, swarming over and playing over the top.
Santona's right to the backfield for the first time. Right, rushed for almost 700 yards. McCullers about 750 this year, so a big 1-2 punch in the backfield for the Wildcats, but they lose 3. Second down, moving the pocket, Gray. Pump fakes, and now throws this sideline. It is caught, but it's out of bounds. Incomplete. Trying to connect with Gilchrist on the run.
On the play action, they are going at Matthews. And they're all just a little bit too far to the outside, but that's the first play action play where they've tried to attack downfield.
By the way, you mentioned Samari Matthews earlier. Would you believe last year he was targeted 7 times over the course of the entire campaign? That's it. That's how well respected that cornerback is nationally. I mean, he's one of the top cornerbacks in the last several years across the country.
It might be 7 times too many. It's not smart going his way.
Timeout taken, but had the 3rd and 13 for a nonplussed head coach Lamar Marshall on the sideline from Millbrook.
And here for Lamar Marshall, potentially screen, 3rd and long, aggressive defense. Maybe you can sneak one in to one of your backs. Santonis Wright excels in the screen game. But him and Deshaun Baker have done a fantastic job with their programs this year, getting to this point. And there's the Huff defense down on the field. And this group has just smothered their opponents.
And Jay, I don't think if you're Lamar Marshall, this is just me thinking out loud, I don't think you're pot committed to going for it on 4th down. I think it really depends on how many yards you pick up on 3rd down. Because I'd be uncomfortable again going for 4th down if you're right around midfield here. It still would be a short field going the other way.
Well, and he talked with us this week about the value of field position. So you still have 3rd and 13 coming up, but you've got to be careful with the football. But he knows this is going to be a 4-quarter game, and the importance of pinning the other team back is key.
28 seconds left, first quarter. Line to reach is the 37-yard line for the Wildcats. Again, Bryson Gray is thrown for almost 2,500 yards this year, only topped by one other quarterback at the 8A level, so he is more than capable. Thomas and Gilchrist, his 2 main targets. Will he get time to throw? Rushing 4, steps up, throws for Thomas, finds him, sprints toward the sideline. He'll pick up maybe 5 yards. And good job on coverage there by the Huff Huskies. Now you're 4th and about 9. It looks like the punt team is on the way out from Millbrook.
Jackson Heath, the safety, junior, 6 feet tall, 205 coming up along with Peterson. LJ Porter. That team speed on that end of the field is the best of the best. I mean, that's why they've been so good, because they play hard, they're fast, they're always in the right spot.
So the Wildcats poised to punt it away for the 2nd time. And that will draw us to the end of the opening quarter. So the 8A state championship underway. This touchdown by Ethan Royal, the difference so far. Huff up 7, 2nd quarter from Chapel Hill on the way.
Robert, go for more.
Hey! Hurt in a car wreck? Don't go up against the insurance company alone. Let the heavy hitters do it for you. Call 800-LAW-0804 and we'll go after all the money they should be paying you. Stay out of the courtroom and get into the end zone.
Call the heavy hitters. We're attorneys Tatum and Atkinson.
Call the heavy hitters. They'll work to get you more. 1-800-LAW-0804.
Have you been quoted for trench drain system to fix water intrusion? Before you compromise your foundation, talk to Foundation Solutions. We provide a more efficient, more cost-effective way to keep your basement dry. With 30 years of experience in Western North Carolina, we bring guaranteed work, financing options, and real peace of mind. Visit foundationswnc.com or call 828-768-2208.
It's 36 degrees here in Chapel Hill as we get ready for the second quarter. The brass section still works when it's 36 degrees here, Jay. Here's the first quarter stats.
36 and dropping. And here in the first quarter, it was really quick because of the time of possession for Huff, just running the football. But I think the key stat there is the 41 rushing yards for the Huskies. They wanted to come out and establish that ground game. They did a nice job thus far.
Millbrook ready to punt it away as the second quarter gets underway. 7-0 Huff. And the approach. And off it goes. Excellent hang time, fair catch, signaled for, and dropped inside the 10, and recovered by Huff. Almost a lethal mistake by Caden Hornsby. Muffed it, and then fell on it right before 3 Wildcats got there.
Really good hang time here. This ball kicked high up in the air, and it just kind of fluttered there at the last second. The wind gusting here. Millbrook in position. Good job by Hornsby just reacting there and jumping back on the ball to save the possession.
So Hornsby covers it up. The drive now for the Huff offense starts at the 8-yard line. So this will be a tricky early possession for the Huskies. We'll see how aggressive the Wildcat defense is here. They will throw on first down. Finds a man. That's Tyron Evans. Sloping across the field all the way to the 29-yard line. A dart from Ethan Royal.
Well, Evans, he's going to be early enrolling at Miami, and here's his talent. I mean, it just jumps out at you, slant route, nobody even close. And then the power with that frame, he is a strong athlete there, powering through over the middle.
21-yard pickup, first down Huskies. Back on the ground, and a little yardage there, but again, a kind of a lunge for a couple of yards by Morrison.
And, you know, Patrick, I'll tell you, with Ethan Royal, he's really come out here and impressed me with his composure. And he's been well known growing up with his talent. I actually saw him when he was in middle school at a film-to-field football camp led by Brad Roach, top quarterback trainer, and he's a guy that has really been well known early on and has kind of paved the ways here, earning his starting spot.
Pick up with 3, Marvin Reed on that last carry for the Huskies. Madison will have more on that story coming up in a moment. Fake on the option and collar down right across the 30. No markers come in. How about that for a hit by Millbrook? Rashad Streets, number 22. Watch this tackle.
Well, Streets, the top player in the junior class, showing why with that power off the edge.
3rd and 8 for the Huskies. We told you right at the top, there are some ballers on the field here today. We've seen that on full display in just a quarter of this championship game. Huskies up in touchdown, facing 3rd and 8 from their own territory. Royal has to chase a bad snap down, runs past it, still loose, and he claws it in. But a huge loss for the Huskies, who made a couple of big mistakes in the last couple of moments, giving Millbrook real hope here in the second quarter.
Just out of rhythm on this drive, and the snap going to the right of Royal. And here, this is the smart play. Just do whatever you can after you try to pick it up. Just jump on the ball and regain possession.
A muffed punt, nearly recovered by Millbrook inside the 10-yard line. That poor snap barely recovered in the nick of time by Royal back at the 10-yard line. And now a punt from the end zone. Here come the Wildcats. They nearly got there. And it's a short kick. And we'll take a bit of a Husky bounce. But Millbrook will start in Huff territory. 9-12. Check that 9-10 to go in the first half. Excellent field position for the Wildcats. Down 7. Don't go anywhere.
Life can be tough. The daily grind, the pressures, the uncertainties, it all adds up. Let's be open and honest about our mental health. Let's support each other when we're hurting, because it's okay not to be okay.
Tonight's high-end zone views of the game are compliments of First Source Equipment Rentals and Sales in Mebane and Burlington. First Source Rentals, reliable, safe equipment rentals in Alamance County.
Hey fans, stay tuned for the Foundation Solutions halftime report. We'll have a special interview with Q Tucker, the commissioner for the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Highlights from the first half and a whole lot more. That's all coming up on the Foundation Solutions halftime reports. So good to be back in Chapel Hill. Kenan Stadium has hosted more state title games in this state than any other venue. This is the 85th hosted by Kenan, dating back to 1989. 4 more over the course of this weekend. First down, Millbrook. Excellent field position on the ground. First down carry, and McCullers takes it down to about the 41.
For Millbrook, they've got to get McCullers going. He's been the key to their offense this season. His ability to run the ball, that's opened up the passing attack for Gray, but it starts up front with his offensive line. He's got a big tight end in Hayes Bronner, and McCullers running behind that group. It's really loosened things up for Gray.
And we told you he was a full go today. Missed their 3rd round game and the no carries in the first half last week in their win at Hoggard. And McCullers will bring up about a 3rd and 1 for the Wildcats. Very important drive here for Millbrook. Best field position, a couple of shaky moments for a Huff. And now you're in their territory and trying to build a little offensive confidence here.
And Lamar Marshall, 3rd and 1, goes back to Jacob Bowen and Marquez Wilbert. They are back in the ball game, in the huddle. So those two lined up at fullback for the 4th down conversions. They're back in now. Expect strong play right up the middle with those two leading the way.
And Gray under center. And now it will go to one of the linemen, and it will be enough for a first down. So Millbrook hands it off to Jacob Bowen, using McCullers as a bit of a decoy right there. There will be enough for a first down as they signal.
And there's McCullers and Wilbert blocking. Heck of a block from McCullers. He pancaked his man, and Bowen, only a sophomore. He's a physical presence on the defensive side, but Lamar Marshall trusting him in a big spot.
Guarantee everybody in the stadium thought number 3 was getting that handoff. But congratulations, well deserved to Bowen to the sideline. First down, Millbrook. And Gray back out of the pistol with McCullers behind him. 7:25 to go until halftime. McCullers back to the line of scrimmage and driven back by a phalanx of Husky defenders. And a little bit of extracurriculars there. Ryan Peterson, number 5, getting in the mix with McCullers.
And Deshaun Baker talked with us this week about Peterson and how he's really impressed this season. Only a sophomore, and you see those natural instincts. And there's Coach Baker. What a job he's done with this program coming in. The energy, I mean, you can feel it down the field and how his team plays for him. There's Tyron Evans looking on with Coach.
And by the way, underneath that Huff windbreaker is a dry fit that has 48 minutes on it that everybody on this Huskies team was given this week, indicating 48 minutes more to a state title. He showed it that to us before the game tonight. 2nd and 10. Gray will air it up the sideline. Some bumping, some slowing, and a yellow flag sails in. And they go after Samari Matthews of Huff.
That's Malachi Thomas. He's going to Campbell. Going against
Defensive pass
Matthews.
interference. Number 9, defense.
It does make you wonder if in Samari Matthews' career, if he's ever been flagged for pass interference. He's one of the top cornerbacks in the country. Number 9, top of your screen.
And there's no safety over the top, and for good reason. You got one of the best there, and a bit too physical, and the flag comes in, and Millbrook's drive here extending, and those two going at it. You can see them talking here in between the plays.
Looks like they're dancing around in the squared circle in the boxing ring, right? Come back at me again. He sees more balls thrown at him in practice than he does in a real game. I think he welcomes the challenge, right? Put my talents on display. First down with the penalty just outside the red zone at the 22 for the Wildcats. They go back to McCullers. And McCullers able to kind of needle his way forward back to line of scrimmage. And now more activity in the defensive secondary area. Officials have to run up and break things up.
Well, there was deception there with Malachi Gilchrist coming across the formation with a fake jet sweep. There it is. There's the jet sweep, and McCullers going right up there, and Brewster just blowing it up. I mean, this defense was not phased at all.
Meanwhile, there's Malachi Thomas. He was just taken off the field by the coaching staff at Millbrook. I think they feel he's getting a little too animated on the field, and they don't want to have number 6 make a big mistake here. 2nd and 10. Confusion at the bottom of the screen for the Millbrook offense. To see
timeout.
A couple of their wideouts having a discussion here, and the entire Wildcat offense to the sideline. Timeout with 5:43 remaining until halftime. Huff up on Millbrook by a touchdown for the 8-8 title. At the conclusion of tonight's ball game, we will be selecting the Affordable Dentures and Implants Player of the Game. Use your 2025 dental benefits now to get the smile you deserve. Visit AffordableDentures.com for the practice near you. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter, Madison Little down in the field. 8A state championship game, undefeated Huff, undefeated Millbrook. Neither team has played for a state title in their school history. One of them wins it tonight. Millbrook down 7, but just outside the red zone. 2nd and 10 from the Huskies' 22-yard line. And Bryson Gray, the quarterback, gives the handoff. Hannah Steen downhill running. One of the first real positive runs we've seen from the Wildcats. And Burleson McCullers brings it up for about 5. And let's go downstairs to Madison.
Well, Patrick, Chachi Sullivan is calling this defense for Huff, and the trust between him and his head coach, Deshaun Baker, goes back 20 years. Baker was touring schools in the recruitment phase of his own high school career. At the time, his mind set on Western Carolina. Then he went to South Carolina State that weekend, guys.
3rd and 5 now for the Wildcats. Not a lot going so far on the ground for Millbrook. 11 carries for a net of 12 yards. They need more. They throw into the flats, and it's incomplete. Boy, pulling his hands back was Malachi Gilchrist. That ball was whistling his way, incomplete. Jonah Holloway, number 12, in the coverage. And that brings up 4th down.
And this ball to the outside there.
Just a flat-out drop.
Now decision. Field goal, go for it. Lamar Marshall has shown being aggressive, going for 4th down. This will be the 2nd time he tries to pick it up.
Yeah, the first was 4th and 1 near midfield. This is 4th and 5 from the Huskies' 17-yard line. Gilchrist in the left slot, Martin at the bottom of your screen, and Malachi Thomas, who was taken to the sideline a couple plays ago, is back top of your screen, matched up against Matthews. 4th down, pressure coming, the release, a one-hand grab is made and then dropped by McCullers. Incomplete, and the Huff defense turns over Millbrook on downs.
And right here off the edge, Will Berlin, number 0, coming in, chasing Gray and just making it difficult. Jackson Heath in position, and that defense. Penalty on that drive, a couple big plays, but when it mattered most, they stood strong there and made it difficult for there to be any open areas for Gray to throw, and it starts up front with that rush getting to Gray.
And Berlin had a great series right there. I mean, if he doesn't beat the right tackle like that, that's a whole different looking play for Millbrook. Instead, it's 1st down to Huff. Over the middle, White slides and makes the catch at the 25-yard line. A gain of 8.
Back to Ethan Royal now, starting off here, 5 for 5. He's been efficient, making the right decisions, throwing the ball. He's been good on the ground. I've just been impressed with his ability to read the defense and make smart plays through the air.
And that's really what he's said all year. His job is to make the right decisions, the right reads, not do too much. But he can do so much offensively through the air and with his feet. And that'll be enough for a first down. Tumbling forward is Javarian Morrison, the sophomore tailback, for the first down.
And when you have balance in the running game, it really opens things up for Royal. With that zone read, he can hand it off to Morrison and trust that he's going to make big plays, along with this offensive line that seems to be getting more of a rhythm here as this game's wearing on.
Tatum and Atkinson first down. Tatum and Atkinson, the heavy hitters.
As Quentin Cipher, 5-star junior linebacker with offers from everyone, right in the middle of this defense. Haven't said his name
at all yet tonight, have we?
And they've been trying to run away from him because they've seen how active he is on film and how he can disrupt games.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Goes on Jarvis Potts, number 75.
And back to Cipher, just what he does as far as recognition, blitzing schemes, dropping in pass coverage. He is so talented, but he's such a smart player. Marcus Gladden, the defensive coordinator, can use him in different spots, and he's right in the middle. He started as a freshman, led the conference in tackles in the state, and he's done it all, and still another year to go at the high school level.
And Jay, we did one of the regular season games, and they'll use him in some offensive packages as well. Royal being chased, stumbles, heaves it into traffic, and what the closest man to it was Jarvis Tripp. Incomplete. Good pressure there by the Wildcats.
Rashad Streets, Kamari St. Clair winning up front. This defense now, 2nd and long. Got to make sure you keep everything in front. Tyron Evans, the wide receiver for Huff, along with Royal, they've been able to connect on big plays throughout the year.
And Madison has more on Ethan Royal.
Well, Jay, you mentioned it earlier. This staff knew how good he would be when he was in middle school, but he had to wait his turn. He had to earn it. He came into the program, was playing backup to Maddox Green for 2 years, and told coach earlier this season, I'm glad you made me sit 2 years. I got to learn a lot and see things from the sidelines, and now super confident in this program, trusts him with their offense.
Nice driving run there by Morrison. It ends up 3rd and somewhat manageable.
Yeah, and Madison really made a great point. You know, so many guys want to get on the field. Of course, Ethan Royal did, but kind of biding his time and waiting for his opportunity gave him patience, gave him a different perspective, and it's all paid off now with his strong season.
Need a good decision here. 3rd and 8. Clock shows 2:40 for the half. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining in this opening half. Play clock down to 8. Still a bit disjointed. Royal with some blitz coming over the middle. Finds his man, but it's in and out of the hands, incomplete. Looking for Jameer Anderson out near the 45-yard line. And Millbrook will stop the clock, force a punt with 2:26 left in the first down.
Cairo Williams, number 11, dislodging this as it's out the middle in there and just a missed opportunity. It was a slant. Force a punt.
We've seen a couple of very uncharacteristic drops on both sides in this first half, and that's a first down if Anderson holds on. Well thrown ball. So Huff will punt it away for the 2nd time, and there'll be a late half opportunity for the Wildcats. The snap is clean this time. They almost got to him, maybe tipped a bit, and it goes toward the sideline and rolls inside the 40. That ball might have been deflected off the foot. There's Millbrook's Marquez Wilbur, number 33. Did he get a fingertip on it?
This is excellent effort right up the middle and just kind of nudged, but it did slow down. Big 33. We'll see if it gets touched slightly. I think he did tap it, but I'll tell you, whether he touched it or not, he made Huff get rid of it quick.
Here's the reason I think he tipped it, because he ran right through the kicker, knocked it down, and no penalty came in. So if he tipped it, there's no penalty right there. Well, now this is very important for Millbrook. Down 7-0. They have 2:14 left and 1 timeout. Huff will get the football to begin the 3rd quarter. That was a big defensive stop from Millbrook. And now can they put some points on the board here? Drive begins from the 35. Gray on the ground one more time. Boy, it is tough sledding inside the tackles to pick up any discernible yards. McCullers for 2. Chris Hilliard making the tackle for Huff. Millbrook right now in no rush. Here's Gray, dancing a bit, throws off his back foot, but throws it away into his own sideline.
That's a fun matchup again on the outside with Smoke Matthews, Malachi Thomas, and those two have been chirping, we'll say, throughout this first half.
That's putting it gingerly.
There's another way to put it, but they've been going at it.
I mean, it simmered in the first quarter. It's beginning to boil here in the second. Fun to watch because they both know they're elite talents on the edge. 3rd down and a short 7. Well, we're not really doing much as far as the clock goes here in the final 2 minutes of this first half. If they don't convert here, Huff is going to get the football back. Stepping up, deep ball over the middle. Oh, well thrown ball, a little juggle, but Gilchrist holds on, and that's a Millbrook first down. Looks like that nearly scored it out of his hands.
Big throw from Bryson Gray. He read it and he let it rip. Great protection up front and going across the middle. That's a nice catch from Malachi Gilchrist. His offense needed that pickup.
Tatum and Atkinson first down. Oh, the heavy hitters. Once again, they go underneath. Gilchrist again diving toward the 40-yard line before he is stacked up. And that will stop the clock after a pickup of about 8.
Lamar Marshall and his offense going faster. There's a double crosser there with Gilchrist and Hayes Bronner. That rub route to create the separation. And it's like you have a stop.
I'm not quite sure why the official on the side stopped the clock. Oh, there we go.
53.
There's a flag that nobody saw. Holding on Millbrook. That's why the clock was stopped. You will see the reaction of Creston Avery, number 53, the guilty party on that infraction.
Correction. Should be 2nd down.
We'll move the football back to midfield. 2nd down and 12. Let's check out the penalty here. Right side of your screen.
Yeah, going against Will Berlin, and you see those two going at it. And now the ball's still at the 50-yard line, 1:06, plenty of time. The one timeout.
7-0 Huff. Millbrook has amassed only 53 yards of offense in this first half. Huff only 89. And neither team has cracked 100 total yards this first half. And one more discussion by a couple of the officials.
And this is what we expected, though. We knew how challenging it was going to be for each offense going against the other side's defense. And the defenses have played great. I think these offenses are kind of feeling their way through and seeing when they can attack. But that first drive for Huff has been the difference, their ability to get something going there early on in the first quarter.
The officials are going to sort things out. This is an official timeout, not a called timeout by either team. Little known fact here for Millbrook's Lamar Marshall and Deshaun Baker, both in their 30 years. These guys were hired 23 days apart. They're both in their 30 years. Baker was hired by Huff on January 3rd of 23. 3 weeks later, Lamar Marshall hired in Millbrook, and here they are in the state championship game only a couple years later.
And they both played running back in college. Duke for Marshall and South Carolina State, where Deshaun Baker was a Hall of Famer.
Long pass over the head of Tate Martin.
It's interesting because you talk with them, and I think they could still both run the ball. I mean,
if Phillip Rivers is coming back to play at 44, these guys are much younger.
No excuses for anybody now with Phillip Rivers coming back, but Lamar Marshall is outstanding. Not too far from here over at Duke.
Jay, I think there's still room for you in the league. You get one more game on those hips.
As long as I stretch out, don't pull any hamstrings, we'll be good to go.
3rd down and 12, 56 seconds left first half. Millbrook trying to make something happen before halftime. Tyson Gray just needs time to throw. He'll get it this time. Steps into a throw deep into coverage and no chance. No chance. Looking for Gilchrist once again. I mean, now it seems like the Wildcats have kind of bitten into the apple here a bit, going after Samari Matthews 1, 2, 4 times now.
And this is very rare. No other teams this season has attacked Matthews. And at the beginning of the broadcast, I talked about, hey, there's guys on this field in a couple years will be in the NFL. I really believe Matthews is a special talent. He's going to Texas, but he has all the skills, the production. Nobody throws his way except for tonight, but he's got everything that you want in a big-time college prospect, but those skills, I believe, will transfer to the next level.
Lebrecki on a punt for the 3rd time for Millbrook. Remember the last time that Huff tried to field a punt with Caden Hornsby around the 10-yard line. He muffed it and nearly gave it back to Millbrook. Secures this one here on the fair catch at the 23-yard line. So Huff will go back on offense. 1 timeout left, long field. I would imagine we'll just see something very conservative and take that touchdown lead and the shutout into the locker room. This game as advertised. The defenses have put up 5-star performances so far in this half. And Huff for the moment with the upper hand. Ethan Royal, the game's only score late in the 1st quarter from a yard out. 5 of 7 so far through the air. Rushing for the Wildcats. Big throw by Royal down the side, and closest man to it was Marcus Caldwell, the Millbrook cornerback. Long pass incomplete. Tyron Evans, the intended target.
We talked about Evans. He'll be going to Miami, and it's the reason you take a shot because of his frame and speed. He's 6'3", 190. So, hey, just go ahead, go deep, and let's see if we can get a big one.
Just like I thought, going conservative. 45-yard pass down the field.
You know what, though? I'll tell you, the reason they're going for a big play is because of the confidence in Ethan Royal.
He will pull it back, throw the sideline. Hornsby driving through a couple of would-be tacklers out to about the 30-yard line. And the clock continues to tick down toward halftime.
It looks like they're going to take this into the halftime break. Just a quick pass to the outside. Huff letting the clock wind down.
And the clock will wind down. We mentioned that dry fit that Deshaun Baker is wearing under that windbreaker. Do you think they have one in the locker room that has 24 minutes written on it from 48 because they're halfway home?
That's the end of the first half.
Huff Huskies. And a touchdown by Ethan Royal at the 3:47 mark of the 1st quarter. That is the only score in this 8A championship game. We are at halftime, and this one is playing out just as we thought. The defenses have dominated. Neither team has 100 total yards in the 1st half, but the Huskies, Jay, up 7 at the break.
Well, we thought this would be a heavyweight fight. That's what we called it at the beginning of this ball game. And how do you respond to adversity? How do you take the other team's shot? And Huff came out, scored a touchdown their 1st drive, and then Millbrook, as Deshaun Baker and Chachi Sullivan are talking with the officials, but the Millbrook defense settled in after that point, but we've got a great 2nd half coming up.
All right, Deshaun Baker is with Madison down to the field.
Well, Coach, you just had a lengthy conversation with the refs. What were you talking about?
I was talking about that holding penalty. They threw the flag as soon as the ball was snapped. Instead of it being 2nd and 20, they gave them 2nd and 12 because they completed the ball, but the flag was thrown before the ball was completed.
All right, well, a defensive battle there in that 1st half nonetheless. How do you evaluate your group so far?
I like what we're doing, man. We just got to capitalize on the missed plays, you know what I mean? So we dropped the ball there, but it gave us that kept us going right there. The run game is going. We got to get the passing game going a little bit, but, you know, they 13-0 for a reason. They playing ball too, so, but I like my guys. I like our chances. We're going to come out. We'll be ready 2nd half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Madison. It is a 7-0 Huff lead at halftime over Millbrook. One of these teams will win its 1st ever state title. It's the 1st appearance for both, and they have come out blazing it tonight. Halftime show from Kenan Stadium coming up next.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore.
Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
You're watching the Foundation Solutions Halftime Report. Foundation Solutions. It won't cost you to get a quote from us, but it could cost you thousands if you don't. Call today or visit foundationswnc.com.
Hey everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to this state championship high school football game. Joining us today is our good friend all the way from Ingalls Markets, Miss Taylor Newhouse. Taylor, are you loving the game so far?
Absolutely, it's been a fun one to watch.
It has been a fun one to watch. Now, what are you anticipating? An explosive finish, I hope?
We always hope for an explosive finish, but definitely an interesting game.
All right, we got to talk at the end of the game then.
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk about high school athletics in general, because from what I understand, Ingalls Markets, y'all have had a long-standing and robust partnership, not just with our organization, but the entire community as a whole. Let's talk about the dynamics of that partnership.
Absolutely. We kind of gravitate towards athletics because we feel like it's a great way to reach our communities, but we're with these kids all the way from that first day of elementary school all the way through college. So we're really following them, but athletics is a good way to bring it all together because everyone loves a Friday night football game.
They do indeed, including you and I. That's
Absolutely.
Right. So it sounds like you guys really do bridge that link between academics and athletics. Am I correct to assume that?
Yes, definitely. We're there to support children through their entire educational experience.
Speaking of supporting children, y'all have people who come into y'all stores and end up working for y'all, people who you go to church with. I mean, this really is a tight-knit community. Is that right?
Absolutely. Ingalls is a beacon in all of our communities, and we love to get people in and out of the store, especially these kids that are working at our stores, our athletes and students in the schools that we support as well.
That's indeed right. Well, Haley, you know what time it is. It's time to get back to some football.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. We'll see you guys next time on Friday Night Rivals.
So, you gonna play this week?
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 You gonna play this
You
week?
gonna play this week? You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
And welcome to the Ingalls Game of the Week as the War Horses square off against the rival.
He's going in.
He's going in. Go, baby!
Ingalls. We're with you every step of the way.
You're watching the Foundation Solutions Halftime Report. Foundation Solutions. It won't cost you to get a quote from us, but it could cost you thousands if you don't. Call today or visit foundationswnc.com.
Commissioner Tucker, thank you for your time. Another exciting week with the state championships here.
It is almost unbelievable that here we are getting ready to crown champions in football when it just seems like we just started the season.
This year began the 8 classification system. Why the change? How has it been working? And do you foresee any adjustments for next year?
Well, this is the last of a fall championships where we will crown 8 champions based on the new 8 classification system that our board approved. So far, so good. And for this weekend coming, we have 3 outstanding venues.
There are plenty of familiar names in this year's championship. What do you think makes these programs successful year in and year out?
Well, I think first and foremost, those coaches recognize that what we do is called education-based athletics. And it's about providing teachable moments. It's about teaching young people the core values of sportsmanship, integrity, and honesty. And I believe that those coaches understand how to navigate that kind of balance.
What do you think has been the biggest challenge for the association this year?
Well, I think always a big challenge for us is trying to help everybody understand the role of sportsmanship in what we do. It's been an ongoing theme of trying to keep that front and center of what we do. And of course, as I mentioned, we do have the 8 classifications in this alignment period. And so just trying to secure those venues has been a challenge.
And can you discuss those new venues and kind of some of the highlights of the new opportunities for these athletes to play in?
Well, of course, the mainstay is UNC and Keenan Stadium. They've been a site for us for many, many years. The association grew out of the University of North Carolina, and that's one of the reasons that our office is based in Chapel Hill, and one of the reasons that we continue to hold our football championships here. So they're still on the docket. And then, of course, NC State had some conflicts that we could not work around. So we reached out to some other venues, and Lenore Ryan University said, hey, let's talk. And so their Moretz Stadium has been made available to us. We're excited about being in that part of the state. And Durham County Stadium also stepped to the plate and said, let's talk, let's see what we can do. And so we look forward to that.
And education-based athletics is a policy that's very important to you. How do we keep the balance in today's ever-changing sports climate?
It is about learning how to be a young person, how to grow into that young adult. And if we've done our job, we have those young people poised and ready to be able to go on and make a difference.
Commissioner Tucker, thank you for your time as always, and enjoy championship weekend.
Thank you so much.
The North Carolina High School Athletic Association welcomes you to tonight's game.
We are excited to celebrate the hashtag NCHSAA Game Locked In, which honors everything that makes high school sports special.
Let's continue to create a positive, welcoming environment for everyone. Cheer loudly, support your team, show respect to officials, opponents, and each other.
Let's make tonight's game one to remember, full of pride, positivity, and what it means to be truly locked in.
Halftime of the 8A NCHSAA State Championship. 7-0 Huff Huskies leading the Millbrook Wildcats. Patrick Keenis and Jay Sohnhalter back at Keenan Memorial Stadium, where it is currently 34 degrees on this Thursday night. And Jay, let's get to some highlights from that first half. A defensive struggle, that's what we expected, and that's what we witnessed.
Yeah, early on, though, in the first quarter, Ethan Royal came through with a 12-play drive leading the way, and that's been the difference. He did a great job with the zone read, getting his team on the board, and then the defense flashed. They played really hard. They looked good, and pitching a shutout because of that team speed, and it just seemed like they're in the right place at the right time. No big plays, and Millbrook almost got a block punt there from Marquez Wilbur.
And we did see some key special teams moments. This near block, maybe a fingertip on that one, and then a muffed punt in that second quarter nearly cost Huff as well. We didn't see much in the way of offense. So we take a look at some first half stats. Neither team, Jay, more than 90 total yards in the first half.
Yeah, there wasn't really any extension. No big plays on the offensive side, but Huff did get things going on the ground, and they did have some success. And even though it's not much difference in total yards, that one drive was the difference there. It's been a clean ball game, only 4 total penalties, no turnovers. But will this sustain in the second half? Who can make the big move? Who can create that big play? Still a long ways to go.
Yeah, a lot more coming up in the halftime show. We'll hear from Lamar Marshall, Millbrook head coach, coming up in a few moments. But as we move on in halftime, we'll take a look at some of the great moments across the nation of our Thursday and Friday football packages. We'll roll that from Chapel Hill, where Huff leads Millbrook 7-0.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Ron, nice cut move and a hurdle. He's still on his feet. Are you kidding me? Caleb Ron, touchdown. Oh my goodness, what did he just do?
He will roll right, under pressure, still on his feet, trying to find somebody downfield. He's in trouble. He'll throw it to the back of the end zone. A receiver's wide open. Touchdown, McQueen.
Michael Henry got his field goal blocked, caught it, and said, look what I found. Touchdown. In one of the most bizarre football plays you will ever see.
Pressure, throws it downfield to the middle of the field. What a catch, coming up and grabbing the ball.
Oh my goodness. I had no idea it was one-handed that he grabbed that thing and hauled it in.
Another rush, they're gonna throw the screen and it's intercepted. How about the big fella, Akeem Davis? Davis staying on his feet. Look at him go. Davis.
It's like a scrum.
They can't bring him down. Akeem Davis is still moving. At the 30, at the 25, he snuck out of there. Are you kidding me, Akeem Davis? He is in for the touchdown.
55-yard field goal from the left hash. The kick is up, and it is. It's good at the buzzer. Bryant is the hero for the Buccaneers.
Tonight's high-end zone views of the game are compliments of Cook Rentals. Now in 5 locations across North Carolina. Cook Rentals, renting the smart way to get things done.
Storms can come up fast, and your roof is your home's first line of defense. Tip Top Roofing is fully licensed, insured, and trusted by homeowners, HOAs, and real estate professionals. From the smallest repairs to the largest residential replacements, we handle it all, including gutters and siding. As a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master, we offer up to 25 years of workmanship coverage and a lifetime materials warranty. Ask about our senior and veteran discounts and schedule your free inspection today at tiptoproofing.net.
Tonight's high-end zone views of the game are compliments of First Source Equipment Rentals and Sales in Mebane and Burlington. First Source Rentals, reliable, safe equipment rentals in Alamance County.
moments away from the start of the third quarter of the 8A title game. Madison Little is down with the head coach of Millbrook, Lamar Marshall.
Well, Coach, after that first drive, this defense really able to settle in. What did you like about that group?
I mean, that group's been resilient all year. You know, we just got off to a little bit of a shaky start on both sides of the ball. Too many missed assignments. We just got to settle down and play Millbrook football in the second half.
Well, in this second half, how do you get that same resilience out of this offense?
Just be more consistent. We've gotten off to some slow starts in other games this year. We just got to be more consistent, assignment sound, and we got to catch some 50-50 balls. We got to make them miss a little bit. We got to hold our blocks longer. We just got to be more consistent and execute.
Who can be that offensive spark for you guys?
We've all got to step up. You never know who's going to make that play that turns the game around. We're expecting it from somebody, though. Somebody's going to step up and make a play for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Madison. He won't name a player. Who do you think that player could be?
Well, I think it's got to be Bryson Gray. I think they need their quarterback to make some big plays over the top. I think McCullers will still get things going on the ground, but I think this defense is so good, you've got to have a big play because it's hard going 6 or more plays down the field on them. You've got to create something, a spark, to get a big chunk, and they need to gain some momentum. Maybe a turnover as well. I think both teams, 0 turnovers, they protected the ball, but there's got to be somebody on defense. The message from the coordinators was, hey, we need the ball. Let's give it to our quarterbacks, and each side's trying to create some turnovers.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Millbrook will continue to go after Samari Matthews? Because it seems like Matthews allowed Millbrook to kind of take the bait and go after him. They didn't have any success at it outside of that one pass interference.
I think they're going to have to attack different ways, and we saw some crossing routes. I think you've got to attack the middle of the field. Hayes Bronner, the tight end, he can do damage with his size at 6'5", screens, try to get Bryson Gray out of the pocket, just different things to try to loosen up this defense. But there's Smoke Matthews. I mean, when you see him down on the field, he's well over 6 feet tall, long arms, excellent technique, and with his size and speed, he's just tough to get around.
I don't want to talk like this is a 21-point deficit Millbrook has to recover. It's just a 7-0 game. So let's talk about Huff's offense. What can they do to have a little bit more consistency and productivity against this stout Millbrook defense?
Well, I think on that first drive, Jamari Morrison looked really good. And I think they've got to go back to him, establish him on the ground, and then let Ethan Royal try to find Evans over the try to go for a big play. They did attack there later on in the second quarter, but he is such a talented quarterback. I think Deshaun is going to let him go. And here in the second half, I think the message is let's get off to a great start. First quarter went really well. I think they've got to come out here, kind of try to put Millbrook on their heels, and over for the Wildcats, they need their defense to play exactly the same way they did after that first drive and really settled in. And there you see Quentin Cipher coming out in the field. He's got to have a big second half.
All right, Jay, you're a guy with a great defensive mind as well. We haven't really talked about this since early in the first quarter, but how have the Huff and Millbrook defenses been able to recover when Puckett went down on the opening kickoff with the injury, and then Malcolm McIntyre went down a couple minutes later for Millbrook?
It's tough. I mean, when you face adversity and when you see injuries go down, not only are you losing that production, but you're losing that leadership, the energy that those guys bring. And I just think these groups showed they had to overcome it because they've got depth, but also, too, these are groups that are very close, and it's more than just talent. These guys have chemistry, really good coaches, and when somebody goes down, they found ways to step up throughout their years.
Ready now for the third quarter kickoff, sponsored by Original Grills. Elevate your grill game at Original Grills. Millbrook down 7-0 will kick off to Huff. The approach and the kick. And this one will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So Huff will go on offense. Ethan Royal, 5 of 8 for 54 yards through the air. Had a couple of drops by some wideouts. He's also rushed for 8 yards in the game's only score. But the junior has looked very controlled, very confident in this state title appearance. There you see his numbers officially, 6 of 9 for 61.
I think for Gray and Royal, you have to remember you're going against the top defense you faced all year long. So you have to stay patient. You're going against a really good group, so don't try to do too much and just continue to read the defense and make the smart play.
For as good as this Millburg defense has been, that's a really good stat line for Morrison. 8 carries, 40 yards, averaging 5 per. First down pass, they swing it out to the left side. Good for him, almost 10 yards on that first down reception. Will be Christian Carter with his first reception of the state title game.
Quentin Cipher running over from middle linebacker, getting all the way over to the sideline to make that tackle. And here's Gray, clean pocket, gets rid of it to Carter, the senior, and make a man miss, pick up a couple extra yards.
And it will be enough for a first down. Huff had just 7 in the opening half. Tip Top Roofing first down. Tip Top Roofing, faith, family, football, and roofing.
And Rashad Streets, the #1 junior in the state, one of the best in the country. Number 22, the bottom edge rusher there. He's got to have a big second half.
This is Royal keeping it on his own and brought down right around the line of scrimmage. Carson Adams from his linebacking spot blows it up.
And for Adams, number 32, when the defensive line gets pushed in, you've got to flow over the top. And he was in perfect position, kept a square base, and there was nowhere for Royal to run.
I'm with Ethan Royal. I don't think Royal felt like he was down on that play. He kind of was rolled over, knee was never down, elbow wasn't down. He got up and continued to run, but the whistles had blown. Gain of 1.
There's Quentin Cipher, number 2, showing blitz, backing off, and Wildcats rushing 4.
And to the sideline again, first down and more, and one more time. They didn't target Carter at all in the first half. They got on their 2 pass plays here in the third quarter, both times to number 19. First down again for Huff. So there's the first offensive wrinkle for the Huskies.
And Carter is elusive, the senior here, using the sideline to break back inside and gets about 5 extra yards as Cipher tracks him down.
Close to midfield. Another Tip Top Roofing first down for the Huskies. Opening drive, third quarter. Huff up 7 out of the backfield to the left side and into Millbrook territory. A gain of about 3 on that play as Jamarian Morrison brings in what will be his first reception of the game.
And Huff coming out here and throwing the ball in this drive. Nothing too deep, but being efficient. Royal getting the ball out to his playmakers and staying ahead of the chains. And this looks very similar to that scoring drive they had in the first quarter.
This is where Royal is just really effective. 3-step drop, quick release, accurate to the sideline. Again, as I mentioned, not going deep down the field, but tough when you're playing off as the corners are here. Tough to defend. Just kind of slings it out off the back foot, but a drop. It kind of is tinning. And a little more jawing down the field. And one more time. Aiden Wilson, number 19, can involved there. There's another drop. Seen a few of those tonight.
And Millbrook brought pressure. There was going to be an opportunity out in the flat for a big gain if Huff could have picked that up.
Third down now. In plus territory.
Yeah, this is where Wilbur, number 33, Rashad Streets, has to take over for the Wildcats. This offensive line for Huff has played really well tonight.
Showing blitz on the Wildcats in third and about 6. Opening drive, third quarter. Perhaps an audible by Ethan Royal. Snap is high, whistle's blown, and I believe a timeout just prior to the snap taken by Huff.
First charge timeout.
9:25 left, third quarter, and a 3rd and 6 for the Huff Huskies, leading the state title game by a score. Back after this.
The need for officials has never been greater. Without officials, we don't have this. Make the right call.
Become an NCHSAA official. Visit nchsaa.org for more details.
Early moment of reckoning in this third quarter. Huff faced a third down. 7-0 lead over Millbrook in the 8-8 state title game. The Millbrook defense standing tall behind linebacker Quentin Cipher, 4-star recruit. Madison on the field has more on number 2.
Well, you talk about Quentin Cipher, you have to talk about his co-partner, Rashad Streets. And funny enough, these two didn't start out as friends. Streets admit that he didn't even like Cipher at first, and Cipher thought Streets was lazy. But now they're one of the best 1-2 punches in the state, and they can push each other every day in the weight room, on the field, lifting up the whole team. And guys, they're just one of the best 1-2 punches we've seen out of Millbrook lately.
Cipher right there in the middle of the field. 3rd down and 6. Big play for the Huskies. Ethan Royal with a marker coming in. A whistle dead. That is the last thing you want to see after calling a timeout for the Huskies, which will back them up behind the chains on 3rd down.
But Millbrook was bringing pressure, and that's why you get the false start. That offensive line getting anxious, and Cipher was coming on the right side. Ethan Royal here, 3rd and long. You have to protect the ball, read where the blitz is coming. Marcus Gladden here showing 4 rushers. We'll see if he lays off.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, and 3rd down, dancing around. Royal right at the line, makes the pass. It's batted down to the sideline. Royal was precariously close to the line of scrimmage. He was almost over the line. No markers down, but it's incomplete. And with that penalty, there's no chance to go on 4th down. Huskies will punt it away.
And they only rushed 4, and they went back to zone coverage. Royal feeling the pressure, gets inside, then sees Cipher and Carson Adams coming up, kind of pulls it back and tries to make the throw. With this defense, after giving up a couple big plays, they settle in and force the punt for Huff.
So Millbrook back to return the punt. That's Malachi Gilchrist. And Huff will punt it away for the 3rd time in this title game. And they're breaking right through the line. A marker comes down. Was Millbrook drawn offside, though? Marcus Elliott checking with his official mates.
Defense. Number 9.
Millbrook.
5-yard penalty.
Stays 4th down, so back to 4th and 6. Will this change the play calling here? Are you still punting?
I'm still punting if I'm Huff. You've got the lead. You have an opportunity to pin Millbrook potentially inside the 15-yard line. I'm going ahead and playing the field position game. Trusting your defense, who's been perfect throughout the year and here tonight.
They keep Bailey Nelson on the field. Gilchrist with his heels to the 10-yard line for Millbrook. Nobody drawn out, bouncing snap, picked up, and it's blocked. Blocked by Millbrook toward the sideline, and the Wildcats will cover it up at the 45-yard line. Biggest special teams play of the game. Millbrook has been very close to blocking a couple of punts tonight, and they finally get through. And it might have been Rashad Streets once again up the middle.
And they needed a big play. They had to have a spark, and this snap slow, and Rashad Streets unblocked there. Just too quick, and as soon as that ball hits the ground, there's no way you're going to slow him down. And now Millbrook's going to set up their offense with great field position, but can they take advantage of it against this defense? Special teams making the play.
You've seen a couple of poor snaps, one out of the shotgun, one right there on special teams, and that's a candidate for the Legacy Federal Credit Union play of the game. Streets did get in and block it, and now a short field for Bryson Gray and Millbrook.
If I'm Millbrook, I'm going to be aggressive here coming out on this drive.
On 1st down, McCullers dances ahead for a couple of yards, yanked back after a gain of about 2.5. Sudden change, no need for the long field on a drive here for Millbrook. Start inside Husky territory, 2nd down. Oh, Gray fumbled the snap, brought it down, and then almost dropped it again on the way down. Saves the possession for the Wildcats. I mean, it's cool, there's no wind. Is the football getting a little greasy, Jay? I've seen a few of these.
High. And throughout the year, these teams have been so dominant, so these small little mistakes haven't affected them. But when you're going against top competition in this arena here, every setback, every small play can affect you. And now 3rd and 15. And Gray's going to have to be careful here. Potential screen here, maybe get something on a crossing route to get yards after the catch and have a missed tackle.
Gilchrist came over from the slot, had a quick word with his quarterback. 3rd down, late pressure up the middle. They throw to the outlet, McCullers, and he's taken down for yet another loss. And Huff's defense stands tall. Ryan Peterson sniffed that one out. As after the block punt, Milberg goes absolutely backwards.
And I think a smart play call. Lamar Marshall and I were thinking along the same things there. Screen something easy so you can break it free, but Peterson sniffed that out. He is so good, only a sophomore. You watch him play, the instincts, how quick he is to the ball. He wraps you up, he's physical. He has all the talents to be a big-time player.
And Milberg getting an 11th player on the field very late. And there's Caden Hornsby. Had a bit of an adventure in punt returning tonight. Some pressure, high but very short. And this is going to land at the 35, and it will take a Huff bounce. Stopped by Milberg at the 42-yard line. Well, this drive for Milberg started at the 45. After that punt, Huff will take over his 3 yards back at the 42. That's getting it done for the Husky defense. 6:54 remaining, 3rd quarter. 7-0. Huff on top. The game's only score was late in the 1st quarter on a 1-yard run by Ethan Royal.
And Huff's defense has complemented their offense here tonight. And block punt doesn't go their way. It doesn't matter. The defense stands strong, gives the ball right back to the offense.
Royal on the handoff, not much there. Sneaking through for maybe a yard is Morrison.
Chase Sizer coming up to make the play. And if he didn't, Morrison had a lot of area to run. Sizer, here he is. Here he is beating the block and just pulling him there. Otherwise, there's going to be an opportunity to break free.
She lost a yard on that play. 2nd down. Glance to the sideline by Royal. Blitz coming off the edge, and it's intercepted. Cypher has it for Millbrook. First turnover of the game. Quentin Cypher, the 4-star, picks off Royal. 4th interception of the year for Cypher, and Millbrook in business.
And Cypher standing strong, and this was created from a corner blitz from Aiden Wilson, number 9, coming off the left side of the screen. And Cypher usually comes up the middle. He dropped back in coverage. He disguised it and read it, and then caught this ball looking like a wide receiver. He plays tight end on offense as well, wide receiver. He does it all, and now gives the ball back to his offense right around the 36-yard line. What a play from the junior.
And the mistakes now beginning to pile up for the Huskies. Millbrook knocking on the door.
And for Millbrook, you just have that feeling you've got to punch it in now. You've got to get a drive going. Your defense has got a block punt and an interception.
And a hard slant, low pass, incomplete. The shoelaces of Malachi Thomas had the defender beaten. If that throws on target, that's probably a touchdown.
Now Smoke, and those two are going at it again. It was a slant route. And those two still talking to each other, and you'll see it here. Here's great, clean pocket. Oh, just a little bit too low, but he was going against Matthews.
I mean, how bad does Thomas want to put up 6 against Matthews? 2nd and 10, there they are again.
And the safety over the top was not in the area. That could have been a big gain.
Gray keeps it on the ground. And again, nothing happening. And guys jumping up and down, pumping through the air on that Huff sideline. Remember, the last Millbrook drive started at the Huff 45. They went backwards. This drive starts at the 36 of Huff. They're going backwards again.
Ryan Pearson, number 5. You see him right in the middle of that screen. And he just wraps you up. There is nowhere to go when 5's flashing there. When the A and B gap opened up and he just came right there. That's difficult if you're a back for Millbrook.
3rd and 13, high snap, claw down by Gray. Finds some room running right off the back heel. Deep, but it is out of bounds, incomplete. Thomas once again working against Matthews. Thomas had a couple of steps on him, and there we see Matthews cheering into the sideline, and a frustrated Malachi Thomas walks to the Millbrook bench. 4th down. And boy, Millbrook has had 2 golden opportunities against this vaunted Huff defense in the last couple of drives, and they've gone nowhere and put up no points.
I know there's frustration for Millbrook there, and you had opportunities, but you've got to hang in here. You've got to keep your composure, fight through the adversity of not connecting.
Low snap, and goes through Lebrecki, and he is swallowed down by the Husky defense. And a critical mistake by Millbrook. And Jackson Heath, number 7 for Huff, does the big-time damage. And just when it looked like Millbrook was on the verge of tying it, not only don't they score, they give up serious field position and confidence.
Well, there's been 2 punt rushes from Millbrook, and now this one paying off for Huff as the hustle comes through from Jackson Heath. On special teams, you do not take plays off. You play it full just like it's an offense or defensive play. Both these teams are well coached, and the conditions are slick down there with how cold it is difficult to handle the ball.
And all the momentum that Millbrook had accrued in the last 10 minutes has evaporated. Royal wants it all. Wide open is White, but he overshoots him.
Deshaun Baker was running down the sideline. It was a double move, sudden change. His team got the ball back after that snap. With this field position, he was looking for it all. There was an opportunity there. They just didn't have the chemistry. That ball sailing. There's Baker there covering his mouth, calling the plays. He had it dialed up.
That was the shots, and they know it. You go up 2 scores in a game like this, you can maybe start engraving the trophy.
And they're not going to run it again here, but they will go back to that double move after seeing how aggressive Millbrook was looking in the backfield.
2nd and 10, long swing into the flats. Only for a couple of yards, brought down around the 43-yard line. Long pass. Christian Carter makes his 3rd catch of this 3rd quarter. Let's quickly go downstairs to Madison.
Well, guys, after that turnover, the energy on the Huff sideline completely flipped. That interception thrown earlier definitely brought spirits down, but that Huff confidence is back over here, down or up by 7. They're looking to add more, and the mojo is back on this sideline, guys.
And a Millbrook Wildcat is down at around that 43-yard line. So we will take a break with 4:48 left in the 3rd quarter as a Wildcat gets treated on the field. Don't go anywhere. This 8A title game is getting good. Back after this.
Every first day needs someone who believes in all the days that follow. First practice, first breakthrough, first business plan. A Legacy is proud to partner with Wake Forest University to believe in all of your starts. Because when someone is behind you, everything is in front of you.
A reminder, at the conclusion of tonight's 8A championship game, we will be selecting the Affordable Dentures and Implants player of the game. Use your 2025 dental benefits now to get the smile you deserve. Visit affordabledentures.com for the practice near you. Patrick Keenan, Jay Sohnhalter back at Kenan Stadium. The Millbrook Wildcat treated, has walked off the field on his own power. Marcus Caldwell, number 20, shaken up on that last play. So now we resume. It is Huff football inside Millbrook territory, leading 7-0, but a 3rd and 7 for the Huskies.
This O-line has to be prepared for a blitz.
Millbrook showing pressure. They come with 5. Flushing Royal out, being chased. Throws as he's being taken down. And one hops a pass, incomplete.
Carson Adams getting home. The Wildcats disguising it. There's a stunt up front and then forcing Royal out of the pocket. And then the coverage was there. This defense, when it's been challenged tonight, they've stood up to it on each side. I mean, these defenses, as advertised, I've been so impressed with how hard they play. And when they've had to get stops, they've done it.
So Huff will punt it away for the 4th time. Gilchrist back to return as the lights go out at Keenan.
Timeout on the field.
You don't say. All of the lights, the light banks went down. It's exactly 10 o'clock. Now, I've seen this happen in pro baseball where sometimes light banks are timed to go down at a certain juncture.
Well, some people are bringing out their cell phone. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, there we go. Students are doing what they can.
I'm going to grab my car keys, turn on my car
You need to get
lights.
your cell phone out, too.
Yeah. It makes me wonder straight up top of that. That's the first that comes to mind. Is that maybe these lights were on a timer and right at the top of the hour they go down at 10? They're not usually playing football here on a Thursday night in Chapel Hill.
I know we have a stoppage here, but you can just feel kind of the importance here midway through the 3rd quarter, the energy, knowing what's on the line. Great support from the fans coming from the Millbrook and Huff sideline and those communities.
And you know, the facilities and operations personnel here at UNC are scrambling to get the lights all turned on. The LED ribbon boards are still on.
All right.
Let there be light. Scoreboard is still visible. Jumbotrons are working. A nominal delay ahead of a key 4th down play. This game has seen everything, hasn't it? Not a lot of scoring, but a lot of everything else. But you're right, Jay. The sign of good teams is when they are faced with that rare moment of adversity, do they crumble or do they get tough? Both of these teams have gotten tough. Ready to punt it away. Pressure again. And it flips end over end. Bounces at the 15. This may get to the end zone, trying to save it, but unable to do so. Huff's True Johnson couldn't quite run it down. Well, I take it back. He did stop it at the 1. He did stop it at the 1. Looked like it went into the end zone. Marcus Elliott will come down and confirm. And Millbrook thought it was starting this drive at the 20-yard line. Okay, we'll take one more look here.
Let's see. I initially thought he was in the end zone.
Well, got past Johnson here. Now he's on the chase. Got it. What do you think? Official evidently saw possession right here with the knee down. Clean possession, elbow down. Momentum carried him to the end zone, but
going to bring it out to the 10.
Now they put it right around the 11-yard line instead. So Millbrook football down 7-0. 4:14 left, 3rd quarter. And again, absolute zero happening on the ground for the Millbrook running game.
This is a Huff defense that shut out West Charlotte last week. And West Charlotte, very highly thought of. There's Chachi Sullivan, the defensive coordinator. His defense has had 5 shutouts this year, only giving up 72 points. And talked with him pregame, and he's got such a great scheme that he runs with, and his players are always in the right position.
Loss of 3. 2nd down. Gray will toss, hits Martin, and Martin's about the 15-yard line. Holloway, number 12, with a hit. And Martin comes up hobbling a bit.
Gray now with his 7th completion on the game. There's the fake zone read play action. And I think this is what the Wildcats have to do to open up this defense a little bit. Try to get some breathing room through the air with Tatum Martin making that catch.
Well, Jay on the ground. Now, again, this factors in sacks and bad snaps that got past quarterbacks. Millbrook has rushed it 18 times for -7 yards.
It's been tough.
Third down and about 6 here.
And this is a big one here because not only do you need to pick it up, you've got to be careful because you know Huff knows it's a pass that's going to get a rush.
Four-man rush, flushed out. Gray throws on the run to the sideline, threw it behind the intended target. Hayes Bronner, the tight end. And it's a 3 and out for the Millbrook offense.
For the Wildcats, I know there's frustration not picking up that first down. You just got to stay in it here. You cannot turn the ball over, and I think that's a credit to them. There hasn't been any bad passes, nothing giving to Huff, but they've got to hang in here and trust their defense can come up with another stop. But Huff should get the ball here with outstanding field position.
The last time on a punt attempt, the snap went through Lubrecki. The snap is clean this time, but it is very short off of the right foot of Lubrecki. And takes a bit of a Millbrook bounce, but this will stay inside Wildcat territory. Comes to a stop at the 46-yard line. 2:27 to go, third quarter. I mean, this game, we're kind of waiting for one big offensive play because everything else has been like, if you're on a mountain bike and you're going straight uphill, how hard it is to go forward by an inch. That's what we're seeing offensively for both of these teams now.
And it's been difficult for Huff, but if I'm Deshaun Baker down there, you say, hey guys, we just need another score. With our defense, the way they're playing, if we get a field goal, if we get a touchdown, it is going to be difficult for Millbrook. And I think right now coming out, he's going to be aggressive with Ethan Royal.
First down drive begins from the 47. On the ground, Morrison, nothing there. And again, just like last week, or take that about a week and a half ago when they played the regional final for Millbrook, they gave up a score in the first drive to Hoggard, didn't allow anything the rest of the way, came back with 2 third-quarter touchdowns to win it. They gave up a first drive touchdown today, and that's been it. And to be frank, Millbrook has had better scoring opportunities since that time than Huff has, but it still remains 7-0 Huskies. Both teams have had drives that have begun in plus territory that have yielded 0 points. Royal on second down the sideline, and a flag comes in as Rajon Bynum, the cornerback, held up the receiver looking for Tyron Evans. And that's the easiest call of the night.
Pass interference, defense, number 4. It's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
And this is a tough matchup when you got one-on-one coverage, no help over the top, and you're going against a 6'3" Evans and just gets pulled there and can't go for that ball. And easy call there on the sideline. And right now with Huff, you got the ball at the 31-yard line. You're getting close to field goal range. Of course you want more, but that's a big penalty moving the ball down.
Minute 41 remaining third quarter. With the penalty, first down for Huff at the 31-yard line. Morrison shifts to the right of Royal. Royal pulls it back. Eludes one man, improvises kind of a jump throw ahead, knocked down, batted out of bounds. Brady Graffam, number 82, swatted that away, second down.
If I'm Millbrook, I'm thinking sack. We've got to get a big play. And Royal is so elusive with his feet. I mean, that is so similar to you see in the NFL with Mahomes, Josh Allen, just ad-libbing, creating. It's difficult to bring those guys down, and Royal doing the same thing there, keeping the defense off balance.
Well, the Millbrook defense knows they cannot give up anything on this drive. Tough task at the 31-yard line, 2nd and 10. Royal, high, arcing ball into double coverage, incomplete in the end zone. Wanting Evans, once again, Graffam was there, Bynum was there, third down, Huff.
And Brady Graffam, the safety, staying at home. It was key for him, number 82 on the back end, is Bynum's in the coverage, and there's Graffam coming over. He didn't come forward. He stayed back and read this, and there's the double team and making it difficult for Evans.
I've been called Graffam's name all through this championship game. 2 major plays back-to-back by number 82 for the Wildcats. 3rd down.
He's been a main reason for their success, keeping everything in front. He's a key performer on the back end.
Where the Huskies go, showing blitz. Here come the Wildcats. They screen it up the middle. It's ran by Millbrook. Getting away though, Morrison still on his feet. Look at Morrison go inside the 10. How did that happen? Jamarian Morrison absolutely should have been bottled up for maybe a loss, and that might be a state championship caliber play. The most impressive play we've seen in Chapel Hill tonight. 1st and goal.
Well, play of the game thus far, and it's just a 1st down, but picking it up here in just the hustle, the effort of refusing to go down. And now Huff inside of the 10-yard line, the ball being spotted at the 5.
Inside the Air Experts heating and cooling red zone. Schedule your tune-up today, airexperts.com. From the 5, 1st and goal. Faking this Royal. He'll keep it and get right back to the line. Cannot emphasize how big that moment was for Morrison. If he simply tackled, it's 4th down. They're outside of field goal range. They're going on 4th and 10. Instead, somehow eluded 4 or 5 would-be tacklers and then burst inside the 10-yard line to set up a 1st and goal.
They haven't punched it in yet, but you just could feel the change of complexion from that play.
What grit remains for this Millbrook defense? 2nd and goal. Hesitation move, and Morrison dropped for a loss and comes out of there shaking his head at his offensive line.
As we go to the 4th quarter here, Patrick, a lot of credit to Millbrook with those 2 stops. They could have kind of folded there, standing strong the last 2 plays.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Haven't seen a point since Leeds in the 1st. 12 minutes remain for the 8A title. Huff up a score, and as a 3rd and goal when we come back.
Robert, go for more.
Hey! Hurt the car wreck? Don't go up against the insurance company alone. Let the heavy hitters do it for you. Call 800-LAW-0804 and we'll go after all the money they should be paying you. Stay out of the courtroom and get into the end zone.
Call the heavy hitters, who are attorneys Tatum and Atkinson.
Call the heavy hitters, they'll work to get you more. 1-800-LAW-0804.
Have you been quoted for trench drain system to fix water intrusion? Before you compromise your foundation, talk to Foundation Solutions. We provide a more efficient, more cost-effective way to keep your basement dry. With 30 years of experience in Western North Carolina, we bring guaranteed work, financing options, and real peace of mind. Visit foundationswnc.com or call 828-768-2208.
Fourth quarter begins. Here's a look at the stats through 3. -7 for Millbrook on the rushing side. But only one team has cracked 100 yards, Jay.
Yeah, 2 things stand out. Huff, 148 total yards. It's not great, but it is against this defense. And then the 2 turnovers, it hasn't hurt them because Millbrook hasn't been able to connect and punch it in. And coming up here, one of the biggest plays of the game on 3rd and goal.
From the 7-yard line, 3rd and goal for Ethan Royal and the Huff Huskies. Royal will throw, back corner, caught, touchdown! Jameer Anderson in the coffin corner on a bullseye throw from Ethan Royal. And the Huskies have a 13-0 lead in the 4th quarter for the 8A state title.
7th touchdown on the year for Anderson through the air. Royal, beautiful throw here. On the run, rolling out, throwing it right to the corner, allowing Anderson to get his feet in bounds. Beautiful job there by the offense, rolling out the play action and a huge touchdown, making it a 2-score game.
27 minutes of scoreless football, and Huff doubles the lead, looking for its first ever state title. 11:54 remain in the 4th quarter. Huff leads Millbrook 14-0.
Storms can come up fast, and your roof is your home's first line of defense. Tip Top Roofing is fully licensed, insured, and trusted by homeowners, HOAs, and real estate professionals. From the smallest repairs to the largest residential replacements, we handle it all, including gutters and siding. As a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master, we offer up to 25 years of workmanship coverage and a lifetime materials warranty. Ask about our senior and veteran discounts and schedule your free inspection today at tiptoproofing.net.
Tonight's high-end zone views of the game are compliments of Cook Rentals. Now in 5 locations across North Carolina. Cook Rentals, renting the smart way to get things done.
$14-0 Huff leads early stages 4th quarter on a huge goal to go play on 3rd down. Ethan Royal connecting with Anderson for the score. 14-0, and now a yeoman's challenge for Millbrook.
And what a job there from this offense after that screen. And Morrison, the effort that he showed connecting there and using the play action. And there's Royal sitting over on the sideline. He's been really good, protecting the ball, being accurate, getting the ball to the outside quickly, eluding the pass rush, and now this defense has a cushion of 14 points.
Original Grills kickoff. Elevate your grill game at Original Grills. Millbrook needs some big plays. They need it quickly. And a short kickoff return. So this drive will begin shy of the 20-yard line. Let's take a look at that scoring summary. There it is, the 7-yard touchdown reception. 7 plays, 46 yards, but the biggest play was that 3rd and 10 somehow escape move by Morrison.
Well, they had 2 scoring drives. First time 12 plays, this time only 46 yards at 7 plays. So they've taken their time, they've run the ball and throw it, but that screen play, that was the play of the game in my book, and it was just resulted in a 1st down, but it really changed the field position. It allowed Huff, instead of probably having to punt it, get the ball at the 5-yard line. They were able to connect.
It's been a long time since we've done a lot of state championship games over the years. It's been a long time since I've seen a state title game go into the 4th quarter and a team is not averaging a 1 yard a play in this game. That's where this Millbrook offense is. 34 plays, 29 total yards. They need 2 scores to 4th quarter. How does it happen?
They need an explosive play. They need a missed tackle. You don't necessarily have to throw it deep, but you have to be effective now. You're forced to, really turn this into more of a passing game. And for Millbrook, Quentin Cipher has been inserted up at wide receiver in the slot.
And they're looking his way. Cipher bobbles, brings it in, finds the sideline, and out beyond the 35-yard line. They're going to sell out and put their best athletes on the offensive side to try and create something.
And Lamar Marshall has used Cipher on offense, and now here in the 4th quarter, he's got to go to him and put your best players out there. And this is what you need. That was a quick pass to the outside, and he picks up an easy 1st down because of how athletic he is, and he's dangerous with the ball. in his hands, and that's what you need, guys, to make plays and force missed tackles.
Tatum and Atkinson first down, the heavy hitters. Gray one more time, throws left side, a little short, incomplete, looking for Gilchrist. Second down.
I think with Millbrook, they're a team that's built on running the football and playing off of that running game. But now they feel a sense of urgency. Down 14 points, I think we'll see them really be aggressive. And yes, you're going against a defense that has a rush and a good secondary, but you're going to have to start taking chances now in winning some of those 50-50 matchups that Madison talked with Coach Marshall during the halftime break about.
Cypher now in the right slot. This is McCullers, finally gets some breathing room. And McCullers picks up about 8. So 3rd and short at the 45-yard line for Millbrook. A little slow getting up is McCullers, their top running back.
And I think for Millbrook here, it's 3rd and short, but you've got to have 2 plays in your mind to pick this up, because I think you've got to go for it on 4th down if you don't get it here.
Yeah, there's no tomorrow. 14-0 now in 4th quarter. You need 2 scores, and you're likely going to have to really churn up dozens and dozens of yards to get it done. Gray facing 3rd and 2. Santonis Wright has replaced McCullers in the backfield. Here is Wright running left, and he's knocked down for a loss. Chased down by Sincere Brewster and L.J. Porter.
Porter going to East Carolina. See number 4 on that backside, just too much speed. It was his own play to the left, going unblocked. You figured that backside rusher can't get you, and there he did, just flowing down the line of scrimmage.
Jay, you have to feel like this is
timeout.
The moment for Millbrook. Timeout called ahead of a 4th and 3. 14 points down, 10:22 to play. I mean, this is the state championship opportunity for Millbrook right here, right now on this play.
This is it. And you still have a full quarter to go, but knowing how good Huff is on defense and giving them the ball back here on your side of the 50, it's going to be tough. So all the hopes, the goals, the work that you put in, you've got to lock in here, execute under pressure, continue this drive and try to maintain here deep in the 4th quarter.
There's the Huff marching band making a trip over from Cornelius, playing with a little more vigor. A lot of watch parties, by the way, in Cornelius, North Carolina, about 20 miles north of Charlotte. So for a lot of the fans who did not make the Thursday drive for this state championship game, they're checking it out in a lot of bars and restaurants tonight. We thank everybody for tuning in tonight. By the way, final exams for the Huff players aren't until after Christmas and after New Year's. They're expected to be in class tomorrow because tomorrow's Friday. Little leeway, however, for most of the students, particularly if Huff wins the state championship here today.
Cypher's in the slot. 4 wide receiver set. Wright is very good out of the backfield as a pass catcher.
Huff shows blitz. Tough high snap. They swing it out. Cypher grabs it, but he's short. Short of the first down by a couple of yards. Taken down by Jackson Heath. And the Huff Husky defense again turns Millbrook over on downs. They can sniff the championship.
Jackson Heath has flashed tonight in just driving on this ball, making it difficult. And the pressure was coming, forcing Gray to fall away as he threw that ball. This defense, again, standing strong. And there's a reason they've been so difficult all season. There are no weaknesses with the Huskies on the defensive side.
So now Huff goes back on offense. If you're to Sean Baker, you can end this on this drive with points. And it begins at the Millbrook 45-yard line. Can the Millbrook defense force another turnover? Cypher had a pick earlier in this half. Royal out of the gun, shovels one to the left side. And this is Morrison up the sideline inside the 30. 16 for Morrison. First down, Huff.
And as players are getting tired, as people are getting colder here later on in this ball game, he's going the opposite way. He is getting stronger. He wants the ball. He's getting into more of a rhythm, and guys are just bouncing off of the young sophomore. 5'9", 205 pounds. He plays so much bigger than that.
Remember, he is a sophomore. He is the man who on that last drive took on about half of the defense, wouldn't go down, and set up the touchdown. Dangerous pass, almost picked off. Noah Ragland was about to cut in front of that long diagonal pass off his fingertips, and Ragland's down a bit.
Officials timeout. Multiple injured players.
I mean, if Ragland catches that in stride, as 2 players are down, both for Millbrook, if he catches this in stride, Jay, it's pick 6. Watch this. And gets away.
So close, and that's the danger right now. And for Huff, yes, you do have a big lead. Obviously, you don't want any turnovers, but all it takes is 1. And Millbrook almost is able to jump that.
All right, that's Ragland right there, who is still down at his chest. There is another Millbrook player dealing with cramps at the other end of the field near the Huff sideline, stretching out his right legs.
Marquez Wilbert.
Marquez Wilbert right there, dealing with cramps on this 34-degree night in Chapel Hill. .10:04 left, fourth quarter. Again, the Millbrook Wildcats. Millbrook High School opened in 1922, 103 years ago. And this is their first ever game for a state title. They've won 35 state titles in other sports. Golf 6 times, gymnastics 7 times, men's and women's basketball, volleyball 4 times, tennis, but never football. They're 14 points down here. Huff, meanwhile, also in his first state title game. They won the women's swimming and diving state championships 6 times, but never a football title appearance until tonight.
Well, it's a testament to both of these coaching staffs because these programs have been on the doorstep. And Huff, a newer program coming about in the 2000s, but it is so difficult to make the state championship game, and credit both of these teams for making it to this point. Obviously, you want to bring home the trophy, but they have had special seasons and so many memories they've created, and an opportunity we have to go to the press conference and meet these coaches, and you just see kind of the excitement coming from their regional final victories and an opportunity to have another week with their team and play here at UNC. So this is a great atmosphere and something these guys will remember forever.
There's Ragland getting some assistance to his feet. And as he is helped off the field, let's go downstairs to Madison, who has more on the conversation we were just having. Madison.
Jay, this title is the first potential title for the Huff and Millbrook in general, but Coach Baker says now his team knows what it takes. He says it will be second nature come next year. We know the process. We know how to get here. It was all about getting the hump, and this is the team that did that for his program.
Yeah, and really, we take a look at the rosters, and we say this a lot when we see a lot of the top players who are juniors or sophomores, especially in a couple of cases tonight. You can, with the right type of season, injury-free, you can forecast another deep run for both Huff and Millbrook next year.
It could be loaded again.
And back to work. And nothing happening here on first down. Royal, the keeper.
I think for Huff right now, after that dangerous passing play, you just want to see this clock move. And you're okay running the football. Morrison has gotten stronger here. Maybe he breaks one free, Royal as well, but just shorten this ball game up as we get deeper into the fourth.
Third down at about 12.
Third down and 12 for the Huskies.
14-0. Huff leading Millbrook. Play clock down to 2. And Royal just barely got it off. And the pass swatted down. Incomplete at the line. That's Rashad Streets extending a big left arm. Fourth down.
Street, such a good pass rusher. And here, as he's getting blocked, sees Royal throwing the ball, gets that left arm up. He's a top-ranked junior in the state, one of the best in the country. And he has has elite quickness coming off the edge. I saw that Oregon sticker on his helmet. He's got an offer from them and basically everybody else. Alabama, Georgia, Nebraska, Ohio State. I mean, everybody. Same with Cypher.
Offense remains on the field for Huff on 4th down. Line of reach is the 19. Royal will put it up in the air, throwing toward the end zone, and Jaden White kind of corkscrewed around back the wrong way, but the pass was over his head anyway. And Millbrook will get the football back, and they did not yield a point.
And they're hanging in there, Patrick, and I know still a steep road to climb here, but Huff doesn't make it a 3-score game. If you can get a score here, you're going to make it interesting. And you want to do it quickly, and you have to get a touchdown. But they still do have time. Now, the challenge is how do you break the code of this defense? And that's going to be the difficult part. But they are in this ball game. They just got to have a sense of urgency, and somebody's got to step up.
I don't see Cyphers on the field this time offensively for Millbrook. Drive starts at the 31, 9:08 to play. 14-0 Huff. Five-man rush. Slings to the side. Thomas. And spun out right around the line of scrimmage.
Malachi Thomas, Samari Matthews going at it all night tonight. And it's a quick pass to the outside, and Thomas and Matthews there. Again, it's been one-on-one, and little fall there.
Slip. 8.5 to go. Second out for the Wildcats. Can they get the ball downfield? Batted in the air and lands at the feet of the chasing Huff. Defensive back Jackson Heath, 3rd down.
When what Millbrook's trying to do is they know there's a pass rush coming, so they can't drop back and do a 7-step drop and throw it deep. They're trying to hit crossing routes, and that's what this was. Bronner and Thomas going across and trying to get something on the run where they can create a big play. Or another knockdown pass from this defensive line.
3rd down Millbrook at the 31-yard line. 14-0 down. Gray just wants a little bit of time, doesn't get much, but the quick pass hits Thomas, and Thomas is going to have a 1st down. I mean, he's just past the marker. So on a 3rd and 10, they pick up about 10 1/4, and that will move the chains for Millbrook.
And Patrick, this looked really good. I mean, protection, enough time for Gray to throw. He does get hit, and then Matthews playing off. As Thomas has enough room, knows where the sticks are, and good route there coming back to the ball.
See the reaction on the sideline of one of the coaches looking at Matthews saying, why are you playing off by so much there? Here's Samari Matthews. 1st down, Millbrook. Little life now, Gray, quick pass. Thomas again, can't spin away from Matthews this time. But steps right over Malachi Thomas after the tackle. No gain. Under 8 minutes for the 4th quarter.
Millbrook still has 3 timeouts, and the #1 goal is you have to score a touchdown here, but now you're inside of 8 minutes, and they've got to take advantage here. This opportunity with the ball and moving quickly.
Showing blitz again. LJ Porter's coming. Inside handoff to beyond the 45-yard line. White will pick up about 4. 3rd down. But again, this is all 4-down territory, no matter where Millbrook is on the field. Thomas v. Matthews, bottom of the screen again, 1-on-1. 3rd and 6. Gray, and another pass, batted down. He was looking for Thomas on a slant. 4th down.
LJ Porter getting back with Sincere Brewster. The pressure right up the middle, and now this is it. 4th and 6 coming up. There it is. I mean, if you can't get to Gray, you jump up, look at his eyes, and they do that. They're perfectly timed by Porter.
Bronner has to sprint off of the field. A late substitution for Millbrook. 4th down. It all hangs in the balance now for the Wildcats. They need 6. Gray steps up, deep ball into double coverage, and it's intercepted by Huff. Jason Wilkerson sprints back up the sideline, stays in bounds, and Huff turns over Bryson Gray on the interception, and the Huff Huskies on the verge of their first ever state title.
And for Wilkerson, his 2nd interception on the season. This will probably seal it for Huff. Goes up 4th and 6. You've got to take a shot, Patrick. And Wilkerson reads it. And as a secondary player, he's starred all season long, and that's the first turnover for this defense tonight.
Handshakes and a muted celebration on that Huff sideline. Still 6 minutes and 38 seconds to go. Anything can happen, but Huff, you feel like they're about one bishop move away from a checkmate.
And Deshaun Baker talked with us before the game about 48 minutes. Now they want to close it out. And they've set themselves up with perfect position here, deep in the 4th quarter. The ball back with their offense. And Wilkerson coming up with the big play.
So there's the celebration on the Huff sideline. Meanwhile, an injury on the Millbrook sideline. That's Tade Martin. So Martin is up, heading toward the bench, and some long faces for the Millbrook Wildcats. Huff football off of the INT. Deep inside Millbrook territory again, leading 14-0. Royal 12 out of 24, almost assuredly will keep the football on the ground. Dancing around is Morrison, driven back, and momentum stops. Morrison hobbling on that right ankle a bit. Well, 3 timeouts remain for Millbrook. Now it's all clock management for Ethan Royal and the Huff Huskies. Snap comes with 8 on the play clock. They swing it out for Jaden White. White sprinting through, escapes an ankle tackle, and picks up a first down at the 25-yard line.
This is just a swing pass to the outside. White lined up in the backfield. He's so athletic. Look at those cuts. He is difficult to bring down when he's going full speed. And this offense now can continue to look good. They played really well here in the second half.
Royal dragged down and a quick snap on first down. Carson Adams, who's had a fine defensive game for the Wildcats, makes the tackle. That dry fit underneath that windbreaker, and that pullover does not say 41.5 minutes. It says 48. And Huff is now about 5 minutes away. The Huff defense has limited Millbrook to only 70 total yards in this game. Royal wants it all. Wants the big shot to put it away. It is broken up. Incomplete in the end zone. Thomas Beck with the pass breakup.
That was really good coverage from Beck. The junior on the back end. There's no safety help there. It's just him. He knocks it loose there.
You see Beck bring that ball in. That's an interception Millbrook could have used. Good play by Thomas Beck. 3rd down. Bit of a surprise to see Huff throw toward the end zone there. Shovel toss again. Morrison with a marker down. And Morrison, momentum will be given to the 21-yard line. Clock will stop with 4:37. Penalty marker down.
This will be on Huff. It's going to be a hold, so it's going to come back.
Holding. Offense. Number 8. It's 10-yard penalty from the spot. 3rd down.
So Tyron Evans, their wide receiver.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a hold there. It was more like a tackle. We'll see there.
There it is.
There it is.
It's a long hold / tackle. So we'll push Huff back to the 33-yard line.
He's a great player. He's going to Miami. What a bright future he has. Size, the speed.
I always feel like those kind of penalties really hurt the defensive team when the defense did nothing wrong because the clock continues to run.
Right.
And you get a new fresh play clock. And now a timeout taken by Huff. That will stop the clock at 4:10. So 4:10 left. That's all that stands between Huff and his first ever football championship, leading Millbrook 14-0 in the waning moments from Chapel Hill. A state football championships from Chapel Hill, 14-0. Huff on top of Millbrook. Huff football facing a 3rd down and about 18 yards to go here, Jay. What's been the difference maker defensively for Huff tonight?
I just think there's no weaknesses, and they blitzed at the right time. They haven't allowed Millbrook's ground game to get going, so their defensive line has done a nice job creating a wall up there, and then their offense, getting a lead. It's forced Millbrook to play from behind, and they've just been able to stretch this lead now, and they played complementary football.
So on 3rd down at 18, slung to the right side and knocked away by Millbrook. That's Rashad Streets, and that long left arm of his again.
Patrick, that was close.
They're living dangerously here.
That was close. This could have been a pick 6. That could have been an opportunity. Millbrook could hold on, but you know what? Huff right now, incomplete pass. You're sitting in the driver's seat. They're going to try to just pin Millbrook back here, bring out the punting unit.
So Huff will punt it away. 4:06 left, 4th quarter. Bailey Nelson, a left-footed punter, is in to kick it away. Short snap, and blown up. The ball is loose, still loose on the deck. Picked up by Huff and taken to the 40-yard line. Was that Cypher who, like a lightning bolt, came through and leveled the punter, Bailey Nelson? The football never left his foot.
Now 3 punt rushes, and that's Cypher this time. Great job there coming off that left side. And Millbrook hanging in there, giving themselves a chance with their special teams unit.
I mean, Cypher was in the punter's grill so fast, it's as if he lined up a yard in front of Bailey Nelson. And the Wildcats not going down easily.
He has been all over the field tonight. He is a star. And I just love it when guys play in the special teams unit. They make impacts. And giving his offense the ball back, and still a long way to go here. But you know what? It starts off with making a play.
Cypher's now on offense. They're looking for him, and it looked like it got held in the jersey area, and there is the late flag. It's Jackson Heath looking around, and the back judge. It looked like Heath had a little bit of kind of the lower back jersey of Quinton Cypher. And this will be 15 against Huff.
Holding, defense, number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Here's a look.
And they keep Cypher on the field as a slant. There it is. Good call.
So it's defensive holding, not pass interference. 10-yard advance. Clock at 3:52. Still all 3 timeouts for Millbrook.
These officials have been really good tonight, Patrick. We'll let the kids play. It's been a clean ball game, well officiated.
Bryson Gray, pressure coming backside, and unloads it. And is that caught or trapped? It's going to be a catch. Malachi Gilchrist got the arms underneath it. He'll pick up 6.
They've had some success through the year on the flood routes, and this is difficult as it's falling away. And good call, good catch.
Second down, now a real sense of urgency for the Millbrook offense. Bryson Gray, 3-step drop, left side, a juggle, and a catch for a first down. That will stop the clock at 3:17. Gilchrist again.
And Millbrook's got their timeouts, and yes, the clock is dwindling down. They have to go fast. The main thing is they need the touchdown, then they're going to have to do the onside kick regardless.
Huff just got a couple of players off the field. First down, hard slants. Malachi Thomas able to bring that one in for short gain, maybe 3. Inside 3 minutes.
And for Huff, they look up and the clock is dwindling down. Just keep everything in front. Don't give up the big play. Don't get burnt. Safeties play back.
They do feel a little bit vulnerable, though. There was some celebrating 3-4 minutes ago. A lot of smiles, high fives, handshakes with fans. This one's not across the finish line yet. Deep ball. A lot of jousting going down that sideline. I don't see any markers coming in. Boy, it looked like Samari Matthews had a healthy grip of that white jersey. No flag. Color me surprised.
Yeah, and Malachi Thomas, as he's finishing this route, I mean, he was pulled on that left shoulder pad from behind.
I don't know how that's not a penalty. Third down. 2:30 for the 4th quarter. Gray puts it on the ground, and that's going nowhere, as we've seen all night long. Maybe a yard or 2, brings up 4th down. And you might need to use a timeout here.
Yeah, I think we'll see a timeout. You're going for it.
I mean, again, you're facing a very important 4th down play. The play clock is winding down. You don't have any margin as far as the clock goes, but they will hold on to all 3 timeouts and go for it here on 4th and 5. You know, a long glance to the sideline, burning precious seconds off the clock. Play clock down to 4. Gray has it, pressure, slants, drops, incomplete, off of the hands of Gilchrist. And that is going to cement the first state title for the Huff Huskies. Five shutouts across the football season for the Huskies, including one in the regional final last week. They are about to blank Millbrook for the state championship.
That defense standing strong again in the secondary, making plays on the outside. And all 3 levels has been physical tonight. There's Matthews celebrating on the sideline, and this group, penalty comes in, but this group, they're going to get their 6th shutout of the season.
And this is a defense that has not given up a point since the 3rd round of the state playoffs. They took down West Charlotte last week 24-0.
Prior to the ball being blown ready, unsportsmanlike, Huff, coach, 15-yard penalty, first down.
All right, let's get to our Legacy Federal Credit Union play of the game. It was not a scoring play, Jay, but by far the biggest play of the state championship.
This was a first down, but this changed the ball game. Jamarian Morrison's intensity, the passion that he played with tonight, and on this run, refusing to go down. This was the difference, because this would have been a punt probably, and it resulted in the ball being at the 5-yard line, and that was the spark play that Huff was looking for in the second half, and it enabled them to go up 14-0 once they scored.
That was very late in the 3rd quarter. It was a 3rd and 10 play. Looked like he was going down for maybe even a loss. And then about 2 plays later, a touchdown pass to make it 14-0. And Huff has not looked back. Penalty on a Huff, unsportsmanlike, pushes the football back to the 18. Clock reads 1:37. On the ground on first down. Handful of yards for Morrison. So our Legacy Federal Credit Union play of the game. Our Legacy and Wake Forest, we
Timeout.
believe.
Millbrook.
Timeout taken by Millbrook.
First charge timeout.
14-0 Huff leading Millbrook. Now time for our Affordable Dentures and Implants player of the game. And we will recognize Ethan Royal, the quarterback for Huff. Touchdown run late 1st quarter. Touchdown pass first play 4th quarter.
He was responsible for both touchdowns. He was efficient, and when his team needed the big play, needed a throw for a touchdown, needed the first down pickup, needed something with his legs to get away from the pass rush, he came through all night. Only a junior. He has such a bright future, and he's going to walk away from this season, this game, as a state champion quarterback.
Affordable Dentures and Implants player of the game, Ethan Royal. Use your 2025 dental benefits to now get the smile you deserve. Visit affordabledentures.com for the practice near you. 1:25 left. $14-0 Huff. Deshaun Baker has the Huskies about a block away from the checkered flag. Staying inbounds, tackled around the 26. And we'll see if Millbrook bothers to take one of its 2 remaining timeouts.
Timeout. Millbrook.
Will be stopped by Millbrook. 1 timeout remaining. 1:11 on the game clock.
I think from this game, Patrick, you could see why these are the 2 top teams in the 8A on the West and the East. I mean, the town at the beginning of the broadcast, we talked about all the players that we'd see tonight and just what they've done throughout the year, but this was as advertised. I mean, Millbrook is going against Huff with what they did this year. They knew it'd be difficult. They did find some success on offense. They just couldn't connect from those turnovers, and that was the difference. They weren't able to punch it in when they had the field position, but they were going against the best defense they faced all year. Here on the other side, Deshaun Baker, he's going to close it out with a state championship for his team. And they beat West Charlotte last week. They started off this season against South Point back in August on the 22nd. Their schedule was filled with challenges, and they've answered every single one each week.
1 timeout left for Millbrook. Royal will keep it. Royal, nothing but green ahead of him. There goes Ethan Royal for the punctuation mark. 74 yards. Ethan Royal, touchdown Huff. Drinks on the house in Cornelius. The first ever state title is coming to Huff.
Might have heard that he was the player of the game and decided to put an exclamation point on it. If you're going to do it big, you're going to do it right here. And Royal closing out the ball game as a state champion and making his final play out on the field memorable. Down the sideline, you could see him, once he had that edge, that speed was too much. He turned on that next gear, and he is so talented, and whether it's through the air or on the ground, he can do it all.
14 touchdown runs this year for Royal, 26 touchdown passes. That's 40 combined in what will be a legacy moment for the Huff Huskies. The school that opened its doors 15 years ago is about to open them up tomorrow with the state football championship trophy to the case. 74 yards on that Tatum and Atkinson touchdown run. Tatum and Atkinson, the heavy hitters. And now the celebration's on for real. About now, Royal, Matthews, the others thinking about repeating a year from now.
And there's going to be an opportunity for both these teams to be right back here next year. When you look at the underclassmen, the lessons they've learned from the successes of this year, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there will be challengers, of course, and nothing will be easy, but both teams will be reloading next year and will have a great opportunity to make it back here.
I mean, Matthews next year might be playing for a national championship, but the rest of his teammates here, you got Morrison, the sophomore, Royal, the junior, Anderson, who caught that touchdown a moment ago, also a junior, a lot of juniors and underclassmen on this outstanding defense. Body slam on the tackle on the kickoff back at the 20-yard line. One last moment of celebration for Huff. Colin Hines, number 33, with his moments in the title game.
And this is the breakthrough for Huff. Well, they've been so close in many years, but they've made it to this point, and now here they're going to come away with the state championship.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Millbrook, number 6. 15-yard, well, half the distance to the goal.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Malachi Thomas. You can understand all the frustrations, all the hopes. 103 years Millbrook has been in existence. First time they have ever played for a state title game. They're going to fall in their first appearance against Huff. They go back to a third quarter, back-to-back possessions that started in Huff territory with momentum. They just could not even go forward against this tremendously talented Huff defense, and that was about it for Millbrook's chances tonight.
For Millbrook, they handled every test coming from the East. A challenging schedule. Lamar Marshall and his group was so impressive this season, and they're a power, and they'll be back. They're going to learn lessons from this ball game and overcoming the adversity of not being able to win this game. I know they'll use it as motivation in the offseason and expect to be back to the state championship next season with all the talent they have coming back, and Lamar Marshall building this program up to the highest of levels.
And we will see just one more snap. (21-0) Huff in a state title game. Final snap, and the Huskies will preserve one more shutout. They go back-to-back 96 minutes of shutout football in the last 2 rounds, the regional final of the state championship game, and the Huff Huskies in their first ever venture to a state title game are the 8A Big School state champions of 2025. Ethan Royal, 2 touchdown runs, 1 touchdown pass. And the junior has edged his name and the Huff Huskies into a moment of legacy at Huff High School. 21-0 Huff over the Millbrook Wildcats for the 8A title.
And this was a great game, and both teams played so hard. And you see how bad Millbrook wanted it, and then the celebration from the Huff side and what this victory means to those kids, their families, the program. And there's the embrace from Coach Baker, Coach Marshall, and the staffs going on and going through, congratulating each other. And it's not only these parents, the communities, the players, it's these head coaches, their assistants, all the time they invest into a season. This is a year-round job, and it's a full staff effort. And just congratulations to Millbrook and Huff and their full staffs on what they're able to do, because when I watched this game tonight, I saw 2 teams that played hard, that were coached well, they were disciplined, and their schemes were fantastic. So credit to both sides.
And 35 short months after Deshaun Baker was hired at the Cornelius, North Carolina High School of Huff, he takes the Huskies to a state championship. He is now 37-4 as the head coach for the Huff Huskies.
And when you talk to him, his energy, enthusiasm is contagious, and such a great guy. And congratulations to him on getting his state championship.
So the 8A state title is in the books. Huff a bye in the first round as the #1 seed in the West. Took down Palisades, beat West Forsyth, and then in the regional final, a 24-0 shutout over West Charlotte. And tonight at the state championship game, they throw their 6th shutout of the year defensively, 21-0 over Millbrook. We've seen some outstanding defensive performances in state title games. I don't remember one that mimics this. Millbrook finishes with 122 total yards of offense. They just went over 100 with about 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Unable to muster an iota, a scintilla of offensive confidence against this Huff defense all night long. And there is that drive fit of 48 minutes that
there it is, yeah,
signifies what has just been accomplished by the Huff Huskies.
And I think another credit there is after the turnovers they had on offense, not only did they not give up any yards throughout this ball game, but they got stops in. Those were short fields, and they were able to hold strong, give the ball back to their offense, and stretch this lead out to a 21-0 victory.
And even in some of those instances, it's not as though they gave up 7 or 8 yards and got to stop on 3rd and 2 or 4th and 2. They pushed Millbrook backwards behind the chains both of those drives. Madison Little is now with the first ever head championship football coach at Huff High School, Deshaun Baker.
You're fine. Huff High School, 8A state championships. How does that sound to you?
It sounds wonderful. Like all the hard work we put in, man, I'm talking about day in, day out. The ups and downs we've been through all year, man, the things our kids been through. Our coaching staff, man, works endless. You know what I'm saying? We spend time away from our families to make sure our boys are fine. And, I mean, it's a great feeling.
And you knew all week long, you said you were confident you knew which team would come out on top. Why did you have so much confidence in this team?
Man, the confidence we've displayed all year, man, like, we believe that we're better than everybody. You know, we come out as not being cocky, as being confident, you know what I mean? And we're supposed to feel that way. We're supposed to feel that we can come out and beat everybody. And, you know, we had our ups and downs tonight, man, and, you know, offensively we kind of got stagnant a little bit, but at the end of the day, we poured it out, defense pushed us shutout. How many state champions you know have a goose egg?
And what impressed you most about your team tonight?
Man, like I said, the relentless effort, you know what I mean? The grit, the fight we always have, man. It wasn't going right, and nobody on the sideline panicked. You know what I mean? Even when I was getting up and down, you know what I'm saying? The boys and the coaches telling me, Coach, calm down, we good, we good. You know, for me, man, it's kind of great because they keep me, you know, on my P's and Q's.
We'll change that shirt to 0 minutes, Coach. Congratulations.
48 minutes.
Back to you guys.
Well, there's the scream, there's the embrace. It is official. Huff, 8A state football champions. We'll come back. The trophy presentation, long awaited for Huff High School. 21-0 win over Millbrook for the championship. Back with more after this. Back at Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where the 8A state championship football contest has gone final. Huff over Millbrook 21-0. And they are awaiting the banner presentation, the trophy presentation. And, Millbrook with the outstanding offensive and defensive player awards as well. So Jay, just kind of walk us through what we have witnessed over the course of the last 48 minutes.
Well, we were just talking during the timeout break just how good Huff looked tonight. And on Millbrook, I mean, they played outstanding. Their defense was really good. And as advertised, their offense, it was tough to get it going against this defense who's going to go down as one of the dominant defenses in state history. But I think both of these teams have so much to be proud of, and I know Millbrook right now wanted this victory, but they've got a lot to be proud of. And they showed so much this season, so many guys coming back. They learned a lot from this senior class and a lot to be thankful for. And on the other side, Deshaun Baker and his group is going to have an opportunity to repeat, but right now they're going to enjoy what they put together this season, going back all the way to last offseason in January. It culminates now, but you see all of these awards, the smiles, the trophies they're going to get tonight. It's because of hard work and coming together as one and being under the leadership of Deshaun Baker.
Make room in the trophy case for that one. Football is going to have representation at Huff High School tomorrow morning. Now, they did bring over a busload or two of students. Again, this is a school day. It's a Thursday here in North Carolina. So a couple of busloads of students did make the trip from Cornelius, North Carolina. Classes in session tomorrow, but it's kind of understood. It's not that classes will be canceled, but I think there's going to be a lot more latitude should students show up either a little bit late or maybe not be there tomorrow. You can understand why. They have, I believe, one more week of classes out at Huff before they break for the holidays. They're Finals will be after New Year, I was told by some of the staff members earlier today. And there is the most outstanding player of this state title game, Ethan Royal. 2 touchdowns on the ground, one that got it going, one that was the capstone at the end on that 74-yard scamper, and a touchdown pass as well.
Well, he's going to have an opportunity to take this season into the offseason, continue that work ethic, the strong work that he puts in to take his game even to another level next season. But for these players, yes, they're state champions, but their families are state champions. Their school is. Everybody in that community is going to feel this victory. They're bringing so much joy to everybody that's part of that.
Yeah, everybody in the community and for future generations. There is something extraordinarily special about the first one. This is the first one for Huff High School. They have cemented their legacy at Huff High School. 21-0 in the 8A title game over the Millbrook Wildcats. Well, all of us would like to take a minute to thank the wonderful folks of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association and these broadcast sponsor partners of ours: Affordable Dentures and Implants, Foundation Solutions, Tip Top Roofing, Air Experts, Tatum and Atkinson, Original Grills, A Legacy Federal Credit Union, and Ingalls Markets. All of these sponsor partners, through their contributions to the program, make these championship games possible for you at home. So again, a 21-0 victory for Huff High School over Millbrook. Our championship extended weekend is just beginning. 2 more championships tomorrow. They are see at 4 o'clock, Middle Creek and Watauga. That will be our next broadcast. Jay and I in Madison will be here with you. So for Madison Little, Jay Sohnhalter, and our entire crew, Patrick Keenis from Keenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, congratulations to the Huff Huskies for the first time in school history, the 8A state football champs. Good night from Chapel Hill.